Welcome to a Song of Ice and Fire Symposium. My name is Nav, and my pronouns are they, them.
And my name's Harmit, and my pronouns are Hershey, like the chocolate.
And this, finally, is A Storm of Swords, chapters 77 and 78, Tyrion and Samwell. In these chapters, Ty loses his shit!
Yay!
Welcome to the podcast, everyone. So, Harmith, who died in these chapters?
Okay, this might be, like, the single most, like, weirdly exciting who died in these chapters. Like, the way, okay, there's a lot of things that I don't like about George R. R. Martin, and there's a lot of things that I don't like about this series. But this just really is like nobody gets plot armor, and I appreciate that. Because yes, all the Starks be dying, but so is everybody else. And honestly, what other equality can you hope for? Like, anyway, okay, so Shay.
Everybody has equal chances of dying.
Exactly.
Everything is equal.
No, I'm joking. I'm just saying, it's, it's one form of equality, and it's kind of nice. Okay. Shay.
Mm-hmm.
Tywin. And then there was one other major one.
Who?
Or there was one other, like, kind of important one.
When?
In Sam's chapter? Wasn't there? Or maybe there wasn't. For some reason, okay, well, those two were pretty significant, but for some reason I thought there was another one.
So you shared your feelings on Tywin's death, but what about Shay's death?
A little icky. That didn't need to happen, but it did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also not, like, happy that Tywin died. I'm just happy that George R. R. Martin is able to write Tywin dying. Because he was able to write Robb and Catelyn dying, so I'm just like, give the same behavior to the Lannisters. So I'm not...
Treatment, you mean?
Or, yes, give the same treatment to the Lannisters. So I'm not... Yeah, it's not that I'm happy that Tywin died. I don't really know my feelings on that yet. I feel like I'm not far enough removed yet. But I'm just happy that he was able to die.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love how I asked you about Shay and you answered about Tywin.
Okay, Shay, I already told you, it's icky, but we'll get into it. It's icky. I don't like it. I really don't think she should have died, but yeah.
Alright, okay. So, overall thoughts on both the chapters?
Overall thoughts, so spicy. So spicy.
A slay, if you will.
Multiple slays. Multiple shocks. Multiple things going on. It was a lot. It was a lot, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. The only thing that I didn't enjoy is there were so many things that I was so close to that I just didn't. And it makes me mad. But the plot in itself was there, and I was there for it.
Okay, cool.
It was really fun. I liked reading these chapters. They were kind of fun and fresh. A little concerning, but also a little fun. So it was good.
That's the exact recipe for a perfect chapter, isn't it?
Yeah.
A little concerning, but still fun.
Exactly. A little concerning,
right.
But not enough that it's, like, undeniable and you have to think about it too much, basically.
Cool. I just, us talking reminded me that somebody in the Discord was like, I started a drinking game for whenever Harmith says slay, or I can't remember what the other one was. And now and then I had to stop a few minutes into the episode due to alcohol poisoning.
No. Oh my god. Whatever. You know what?
Good.
I just won't say slay for the rest of the episode, and you won't get to drink any alcohol, and you'll have to be sober.
Okay, let's see if that worked. Oh, homie. It was another one, but you haven't been saying it recently. Stop is the other one.
Stop.
Oh yeah, here it is. It was a comment from Jason Toolittle. It's actually in the no spoilers if you ever check Discord.
Excuse me?
I started a drinking game for the podcast. Take a drink every time Harmouth says slay or please. I had to stop 10 minutes into the first episode I started it on. Almost died of alcohol poisoning.
Oh god.
And Brian was like, that sounds like the start of a bingo card to me. You should get on that, Brian.
Oh my god.
Yes, we
that
should collectively get on that, actually.
That would actually be so funny.
Yeah, but I wonder, like, what are the things that I say that get... Like, we've got the things that we say at the beginning, at the end, but, like, what are my...
What are your little quirks?
Yes.
I think your little...
Don't point them out, because then I'm
Okay.
going to be very conscious of them, actually.
Okay.
So never mind. I don't want to know.
Okay, whatever.
Now somebody's going to tell me, and I'm going to hate it.
Okay, don't point out nubs. Fine.
Yes.
So it's just funny when I'm
only
berated.
use unique vocabulary to phrase
Huh.
together each sentence.
Phrase together? Phrase
What do you mean?
together. It just didn't sound very put together, you know?
Really, phrase together didn't sound put together.
Put together sounds better than phrase together. You cannot argue with me on that. Phrase
Okay,
together
why are we-
is...
Okay, stop. Blah, blah, blah. Already, we're off topic. We've been off topic for 2 hours already. Let's...
It's okay. It's good. It's for the business. Yes, this is a business now.
Okay, not speaking of all the things that we both say too often, let's have you...
I think quirks are funky. Not funky. I think quirks... Nope. That was not what I was trying to say. I think quirks are comfortable. I was trying to say comfy, but I said funky.
Funky?
Yeah. Are, you know... it's-
Funky?
Funky monkey. Yeah, you know...
Fumpy?
it's fun. Okay, shh. It's... You know, it's a little grumpy, funky, fun.
Why grumpy?
I was just rhyming, you know? I was just rhyming. And I was
Grumpy
timing,
to
and I was
funky?
Shut up! It's called
my
near
God.
rhymes, and it's called poeticism. I don't even know if that's a word. Poetry? Wait, poetry! I think I'm just trying to say poetry! Shh, it's fine.
I love how you were making a point about words, but then you just...
It's fine, okay? It's poeticism. I love, you know what, sorry, I just love adding extra syllables to things, and I do it all the time for words that I know, like I know, oh, it's like poetry, but I think I just love extra syllables so much that in my mind I'm constantly just trying to fit them in, even if they doesn't really work. Anyway, words
Yes.
are fun. Moving on from our...
So why don't we string together some of those words and do a summary?
Okay, I'll try. Sorry,
I'm
who's-
trying so hard with the segues this time around.
Okay, I mean, they're getting clever, I like it.
Okay, so we are at the summary part, right?
Yeah. Okay, Tyrion?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Tyrion Samwell. Okay.
Okay.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
Jaime comes to save Tyrion, gets him out. There's a plan with Varys. Tyrion's like, "Oh, thanks." Jaime's like, "Actually, so you know the person who you married, who I told you was someone that I'd hired? I actually hadn't hired. Dad told me to say that. Feel bad. So now I'm trying to save your life." He's like, "Get lost." Then he goes with Varys, and then he goes upstairs because he realizes they're directly below the Tower of the Hand. And then he kills Shay, and then he kills Tywin, and Tywin does not shake gold.
Switch.
Sam? Question mark? Okay, King Stannis is not very patient, whatever. He's gathered all the contenders, and he's like, you guys need to decide who. I don't know who, but you need to figure it out, and these are all the things I need from you. These are the castles you get to keep. I need to take the other ones. I get the gift. People are kind of like, ick, why are you doing this? You're kind of meddling in our affairs. He's like, I'm just doing what I need to do. Melisandre's there, and they talk to Samwell, and they're like, hey, you did this, slay. And then he goes and talks to, and they're like, oh, we have obsidian at Dragonstone, and all of that subplot.
And
then,
that's a minute.
Well... Sam, well...
I love how you had 3 seconds extra for Tyrion's chapter left, but then for Sam's very simple, straightforward chapter, you were like,
No, because Sam had all these fun details that I needed to say, but in Tyrion's, there wasn't, like... It was a different type of fun detail that I could skip over.
Okay.
Also, sometimes I psych myself out. Like, when I do too well with the first one, with the second one, I'm like, oh, well, clearly I'm good at this, so I don't need to try, and then I stop trying. And
never do two important things back to back.
Why?
Because if you psych yourself out after you do the first one well.
Yeah, but if I don't do
I was trying to gather a life lesson from that entire...
No, but it's different with summaries versus life events.
All right, I guess just do all the important things all the time.
Basically.
So Tyrion, speaking of important things, he is importantly awaiting his important death sentence.
Wow.
Actually, important death, important sentence. That's what I meant to say.
Please.
And he's in the black cells. Say hello to old Nedard.
Oh, gosh.
He probably haunts these. Or would he? No, okay, I'm getting distracted. I'm like, what would he haunt if he haunted something? And there's too many options, so I'm not going to get down that road. Maybe in the wrap-up. Okay. Tyrion.
Okay.
Tyrion.
He's thinking about everything, and he's like, okay, well, maybe, I don't know if they're going to try to kill me down here, or if they're actually going to take me to, like, a public execution, but maybe I could, like, you know, reveal some family secrets, turn on them if they give me a chance to.
Tell the mob a few choice things if they let me speak.
This was so interesting, because...
What do you think he would have said?
I don't know, maybe like the whole, well, that wasn't even your king anyway.
Oh, right, like,
blah, 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 you know?
My siblings have been having sex with each other. I confirm it.
Yeah, especially...
And Cersei killed Robert. And all the things.
Yeah, because especially as of right now, he doesn't even know Jaime's back, you know? So it's like, it's not even like, oh, it also affects my beloved brother. Like, right now, it's just kind of like,
it would still affect his brother,
no matter I know, but right now, it's kind of like he's not thinking about his brother because he's not there right now, you know?
Right.
So it's kind of out of sight.
So wild to me that Jaime's been there for weeks, right? And Tyrion doesn't even know.
Right? It's wackadoodle. But during this whole, like, this was so, like, even right at the beginning of the chapter, like, right from here, it starts off with such, like, it's so jarring comparing this to book 1 when he's mad that, like, Jaime would even think that he would betray his family, like, at all. And, like, how far we've come in a way. It's like, and then as the chapter progresses, it just gets even further to where he, like, kills a member of his own family. Like, this these characters are developing. Let's just say that. I don't know if I agree with it.
We don't know if it's for the good or the bad.
But there is development. You cannot call these characters linear, like, at all. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that kind of broke me a little bit. Like, right from the get-go, he, like, incorporated that. And then he's like, trying to figure out what to say, and he's like...
Exactly. He's trying to, like, psych himself up a little bit and be like, I will not... go down without fighting, and also I'm gonna think of some rousing last words, but all he can think is bugger you all.
Which probably won't leave a little lasting impact.
Yeah, and then when he finally, like, sees somebody come through the door with the torchlight, it kind of blinds him and he can't tell who it is, and he's like, oh, you afraid of me? Do it, you son of a poxy whore. And then Jaime's like, is that any way to speak about our lady mother?
Oh my god.
And Tyrion just is like, you.
A fun little
I don't know. For
2-second
some reason,
reunion.
expecting it to be like Jamie, but it's you. You is like way weirder to me. It's more like accusatory, you know?
Yeah, but he's also been like locked in a cell, like awaiting his death. Like,
Yeah, no, I get it. It's just it was
a little
bit
weird.
jarring.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jamie's like, well, yeah, it's me or most of me. And he tells the whole thing about his losing his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyrion can't help but laugh. He's like, I'm sorry, dude, but like the handless and the noseless Lannister brothers.
Oh god.
And now the Kingslayer brothers as well.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. So they like check each other out, and Tyrion's like, yeah, they made me fight a battle without my big brother to protect me. And I was like, oh my god, no.
This was, oh my god. Wow. Oh my god.
Yeah, so they have a little catch up, and Jamie's like, yeah, well, you're to be beheaded tomorrow out in the old turning grounds. I think that's like where the Hand's tourney was held. Mm-hmm. So they were planning to do it publicly. Mm-hmm. Were they going to gag him from keeping him from spilling all the secrets?
I think,
what was their plan?
Especially with Tywin's reaction at the end, I think he just thought that he wouldn't
say anything.
Yeah, or like he might, like, I think he also just thought that like he'd just like say, oh, I didn't do this, or like try to accuse someone else of doing it, like say things that people wouldn't believe, rather than like, hey, let me spill some family secrets. Okay, like I think they just expected that he wouldn't.
Interesting. I mean, you're literally about to kill the guy, so like what does he have left to lose? Yeah, but they're just going back and forth a little bit, and Tyrion's like, I don't need rescuing. And Jamie's like, you're so annoying. I'd almost forgotten what an annoying little man you are. And this is the point where I was like, oh my god. You know when the last time was that they saw each other? It was like chapter 7 or 8 of A Game of Thrones.
Literally the last time they saw each other was when Tyrion was like, you think I'm not loyal to my family?
Yeah, like at that or like that was the last interaction we saw, but basically in Winterfell was the last time they see.
Why is
Tyrion
Winterfell,
went off to the
like,
wall?
Cursed. Nobody has seen each other since Winterfell.
Anybody who
and then
leaves
one of them
Winterfell
dies.
never returns.
Yeah. Oh god. That's really depressing.
Yeah, so just that made me realize like both of these people have been through so much since then, and
yeah,
they've changed so much since then as people. It's wild to be catching up with them here in these circumstances.
Yeah. Oh my god, they've both been imprisoned. They've both lost body parts.
Yeah.
They've both
all sorts of trauma and
disowned by their father multiple times since then. Wow. Yeah,
Tyrion's been married.
Oh my.
He's also been in love with Shay. Jamie's been hanging out with Brienne. Mm-hmm. Like, all sorts of things are happening.
They've both made promises to Catelyn.
Right.
Because what was Tyrion?
The Oathbreaker brothers.
Yeah, because Tyrion's... Well, did Tyrion promise anything? He did, right? I don't remember what he promised.
He was like, oh, if she returns me Jaime, I will release her daughters.
Oh, right, because he was the one who initiated that when he was like, oh, yeah, because then they have that whole plot of like, we're going to keep sending fake deals to delay.
Yeah.
And then he finally was like,
I don't know if Tyrion views it as like an oath he took, but Catelyn definitely viewed it as that, and she was like, I am putting you in responsible for your brother's oath, and make sure you get my daughters.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow. So much parallel.
Wow, indeed. And so they get out of the cell, and in the hallway, Tyrion almost stumbles over the guard. That there are 3 guards that the eunuch has dose their wine with sweet sleep. So they're passed out, not dead, but totally passed out.
Oh my god.
So this is when we learn that Varys is involved.
Whoa.
And he is going to smuggle Tyrion through the city, down the sewers to the river to a galley that's going to take Tyrion to the free cities where Varys has agents and that'll take care of him. And Tyrion's just got to make sure he's not very easily recognized, you know?
Yeah.
Just got to keep low. What did you think when you learned that Varys is involved in this?
I was,
Were you like, that makes sense, or that doesn't make sense?
I was like, it makes sense because Varys is involved in everything, but it didn't make sense because I was like, because this, like, I don't know, to me it was just like, this totally convicts Varys. So it made me think, like, who went to who? And then at the end of the chapter, like, when Varys finally catches up with Jaime, it kind of seems like, or with Tyrion, it kind of seems like Jaime came to Varys. So, like, to me, this is just like, Jaime must have threatened Varys, because to me, this is a big risk for Varys to take, like, for Tyrion, who doesn't even, like, do you know what I mean, in the grand scheme of things?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that, but, like
can
Varys realistically be threatened by anybody?
But why would he put himself in such danger? Because to me, this is like, wow, if the whole plan hadn't, if the whole, like, Tywin, all of that hadn't happened, like, to me, if I'm in this city, like, Tyrion couldn't have done this alone. He was literally in the Black Cells. There was nobody else on his, they had gotten rid of every single person who was on his side. Like, wow, Bronn helped him. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's no, like, the only person really capable of, like, sneaking him out without a trace in that way is Varys. And to me, like, Cersei and Tywin, if he hadn't died, and, like, to me, that's so logical.
But they would immediately blame him.
Yeah, but is it that he knows he's so valuable that they can't dispose of him in that way? But at the end of the day, like,
maybe
he's still a pawn. A little
Tyrion
bit.
is worth the risk.
But that's confusing.
How so?
Because we just, like, don't know enough about Varys for that to make sense. Like, is it just like, I know that Tyrion's in the right and he doesn't deserve it? But he's had to follow through on much greater injustices than Tyrion dying.
Right.
He's been here for a while. Like, you choose your battles when you're in a position like this, right? To keep the position.
That's true. Yeah, like, you send the assassin after Dany, but you also give somebody a heads up that the assassin's coming.
Yeah.
So you find a compromise. Is it like some sort of, like, this seems very far-fetched, but is it like a weird, like, I save you, you go to the free cities, like, you help me in the future? Is it, but still, why is it that important? Like, it just, I don't know, I think it just struck me as weird. I just feel like Varys has worked with Tyrion and his, like, tactical side, and he knows his capacity in that. Right. And we have met a lot of people in this universe, and not a lot of people have that capacity, you know? Yeah. So it's like a useful skill. That's fair. I don't know what use Varys would have for it, or maybe I do, but I won't tell you. But it's... Yeah, to me it just seems like maybe in the future, like, he encounters Dany or some shit, and he needs Tyrion on his side, like, in the free cities. Like, I don't know, it just seems like a you owe me vibe. Not a I owe you, but a you owe I. You owe I, basically. Stop, that's so funny. Okay, so, yeah, it's, yeah, blah, blah, blah. They get to kind of, like, the end of the tunnel, or like, they're walking down the tunnel, and Tyrion's like, hey, dude, thanks for saving me. And Jaime, of course, has to open his stupid mouth and be like, actually, I'm here to right some wrongs. I can't leave without, like, really just spilling all my, like, anyway. Yeah, he needed to... Yeah, just let your brother continue to worship you. It's fine. I don't know. It's one of those...
And it also goes back to, like, you know, like, Sam's whole thing of, like, can there be honor in a lie? And not that it's honorable to lie to Tyrion, but is, like, I don't know. What is the morality of that? Like, is it better to tell him
Jaime
and be
getting
honest?
his conscience cleared.
Yeah, but now you've just dumped all of that onto Tyrion.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, but at the same time, it's like, it's to me, it's also like, I feel like this comes up a lot, where it's also just like, if you know that somebody's cheating, do you tell their partner? Is it your business? And to me, it just feels like a very parallel situation, where it's like,
sorry. Now I'm thinking about that, because I'm like, you know how I'm a very, like, this is right and that is wrong kind of person.
But is it? But what if they have changed? What if it was in the past? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it gets complicated, and I don't know what I would do, and I'm glad that I haven't had to be in that situation. Just like here, like, what do you do when you've done something to hurt somebody greatly, and it would get off of your conscience? And yeah, in a way, he deserves to know that that's what happened to him. But also, it's been so long. Like,
oh yeah, it's definitely useful? A selfish thing that Jaime is doing,
but
masked as like a, you know, I'm finally telling him the truth. Like, you didn't tell him for 20 years, 15 years, whatever. And we don't tell him now. But also, we need the drama so that the other drama can happen. So, either way.
It just hurt, you know? It was like, you guys were finally having a nice little brother moment. Like, come on, you know?
Yeah. So basically, Jaime tells Tyrion that Tysha was not a sex worker that he had hired. She was actually who she claimed to be, which was just like some crofter's daughter who met him by accident and probably actually loved him and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Or, like, he doesn't say the loved him part. He, in fact, like, justifies his thing as, like, oh, Dad told me to lie to you because he said that she was just digging for your gold and she didn't really love you, and you would learn a lesson in the end and thank him for it.
Ick.
Yeah.
Ick. And this was, like...
Okay, we have been, like, Jaime's, like, oh, all the people I've helped except that one, or, like, the brother who loves me but he shouldn't, or, like, all these, like, vague sentence thoughts finally come to a conclusion. What did you think of this conclusion? I think you had speculated that it had something to do with this event.
Yeah, so I'm glad that I was, like, kind of right. Like I said, you guys, I'm always, like, 68% there, okay? I'm always there.
I thought it was 80. I think you're, like, slowly decreasing.
Okay, wait, no, yes. No, I'm always 81% there, okay? I always get there. I'm just not good at, like, pulling together the specifics, because my memory isn't based on specifics. My memory is genuinely... based on vibes.
It's on vibes.
No,
oh my god, Jinx.
No, like, and, like, that sounds like a joke, but that is exactly how it is. Like, literally, the example of this, you can cut this out if it doesn't make sense to listeners at home, but, like, when you're talking about your stories at work, I'm not gonna remember anybody's name, but I'm gonna remember the weirdest detail that you told about them, and that's the vibe that I remember. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's literally how my memory works. So the way that I put predictions together is genuinely through vibes. Anyway, so I had the vibe that it
no
was
thoughts,
like,
just vibes. You're embodying that meme.
It is no thoughts, just vibes, but, like, eloquent vibes, you know? So, anyway... in some ways...
sometimes eloquent vibes.
It's fine. I'm a little evil genius. My status remains, okay? So,
okay, Tywin.
So yeah, I'm happy that I was like, it's probably about this event. But basically, yeah, I was like, oh, this makes so much sense. Because like I said, I was already thinking it was about the event, but it was... It felt... what I liked about it, and also what I hated about it, was... it almost, like, solves that Tyrion conflict of, like, nobody that I've ever loved me. And it was like, well, no! that wasn't true. You were just deceived. So yes,
but that's why it hurts more.
I know. So yes, it adds to the pain and it sucks. But also, like, you know, when he hopefully gets to the other side of this without becoming a little evil murderer,
how does he do that?
I don't know, but hopefully, I'm still gonna be hopeful. Hopefully, when
you
that happens,
said without becoming an evil murderer, after he's become the evil murderer,
without continuing on as an evil murderer. There we go. Valid criticism. Yes, he has done that, but hopefully, if we make it through this, hopefully there's that thing of like, okay, but it wasn't me. It was a thing that happened to me. And I just, it was like, because this was always such a thing. And I thought Shay was the conclusion, because it was always like, well, but does she? And then we got that closure with her, and we thought that chapter of him was over, but this was the real conclusion? Like, that was just a conclusion to, like,
so you want him to use this hurdle as an opportunity for growth.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I just liked that there was something here to latch onto. I
think you lost your thesis somewhere there.
I'm trying to see. I'm just, like, it's just nice that it was, like, she did like him. Like, I'm,
okay,
like, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I'm just hoping that, like, there's at least something that we can get out of this. I'm not saying that I expect him to be this perfectly emotionally balanced human being who's just suddenly able to take the worst thing that's ever happened to him and be like, oh, well, at least she liked me. Skiddly-daddly do. Like, I'm not expecting that. I'm just, like, hopeful that eventually we can move forward to that place where that can be part of his, like, processing. Anyway, I just liked that, like, I don't know, that happened. But because George R. R. Martin has been pushing for this for so long with all of his little, like, oh, well, but nobody loves me, and with whole it was like one of those mysteries that finally got solved.
Yeah, so this book is the mystery solver of them all.
Is that why you like it so much?
How can you not like it? Have you seen the events?
I do, but I'm saying, is that one of the major reasons you like it so
it's one of the reasons, but also Red Wedding, Purple Wedding, Tywin dies. Many other things still yet to come that I can't name.
In this book?
Yes.
We only have,
if I tell you that I am more excited for the upcoming chapters than I was for this chapter...
Really?
I will not be lying.
Really? But we only have like 50 pages left of this book or something.
Exactly.
Okay.
Don't count.
No, I'm guesstimating. Feels like 50.
Okay.
Wow, really? Are you sure?
I am sure. You will be sure.
Wow, it's getting better and better, and I'm so confused.
Right? This book is like such a roller coaster because you start off like stable, like things are setting up, and then immediately you're like, dip. Oh shit, everybody's dead. Yeah. And then you start coming back from it, and like, you know, some better things are happening, and you find out Arya's actually not dead, and like you're on the recovery.
Yeah.
And then it's immediately like, oh, the other guys get fucked too, and it's just so
Balon and Joffrey and Tywin,
and it's just the most political of them all, and it's just this book is so good. This book is so good.
Oh my god, Kate, did Red Wedding happen in this second half of the book? You know how
it happened like right at the middle
of this?
I think the first chapters were the Red Wedding chapters in this book.
Oh, okay. So it was this physical book that I'm holding. Yeah,
like, I can't tell you the number, but it happens like just a little over 50% of the way after.
Okay. Yeah, because I feel like the first half was like good, but it was a little like, okay, you know?
It's all the setup, because now we can go back and be like, Tywin was writing letters. He was making the Red Wedding happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But the second half of the third book has been cray.
Yeah.
This was nice. Can I pick this as my favorite?
Okay, is
half?
it worth it now? Is it worth it? Is it worth it?
I think so. I like it.
Oh, I'm so glad. Oh, I'm so glad. Because, like,
so.
this is where I was when I was like, we need to cover A Song of Ice and Fire.
Really? Okay.
Like 4 years ago when I forced you to
So
do this.
funny.
This
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
I was like, it's so good. It's so good.
That's so funny. Oh my God.
Because when it's good, it's so good. Or when it's written, it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah. And when it's bad, it's real bad.
Well, even when it's bad, you were like the entire Red Wedding episode, you were like, I hate this, but it's written so well, I hate it.
Yeah, I know, but I still, the hate won the written well.
Yeah, so it's not bad, it's like good bad.
But it's still pain.
Oh, yes, it's the emotions. It makes you cry.
Oh my.
Oh, I love it so much. Like,
Why do we choose to inflict pain upon ourselves? Do we not have enough pain already?
It's emotions. It's feeling. It's something other than the dull numbness of existence.
Okay, so true.
Right? Like, no, it really is, though.
Yeah.
Like, I had a hearty cry the other day, and I was really sad about something, but also I was really happy that I finally cried after several months, because I was like, I was having this like emotional buildup that wasn't having anywhere to go, you know?
Yeah. No, that's so true. There's like a joy in, like, it's like sometimes you feel so bad that you almost feel good. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's the lack of numbness. It's something.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so we talked. Okay, we haven't gotten like past two pages. We gotta get.
It's okay.
through
Okay.
this.
So basically, yeah.
Tyrion is not happy to hear this, to say the very least. He is like, Jimmy's trying to be like, well, I didn't know that our dad was gonna be so mean and have her raped and all the horrible things.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew that. You must believe me. And Tyrion's like, oh, must I? Fuck you. She was my wife. And he hits Jamie, and Jamie's kind of like, he's standing in a way that he actually like falls back, and he's like, yep, I deserve that.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyrion's like, actually, you deserve a lot more than that. And let me tell you, I will make sure you get it, because a Lannister always pays his debts.
That was such an ouch.
Yeah.
Like, wow. We went from my big brother wasn't there to protect me to watch your back.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. In like a page.
Yeah. So they like pass through the gate, and Tyrion's like, I'm not going with you. Give me the keys and get the fuck out of my face. And the next time I see you, good thing you lost your hand, because we will be evenly matched, because I'm going to kill your ass.
Oh my gosh.
And Jamie, like, why, dude? Just leave at this point. But he has to go add fuel to the fire and be like, well, now I told you the truth, which, like, thanks for that. Like, what a favor you did.
Yeah.
Now you got to tell me the truth. Did you kill Joffrey? And Tyrion thinks the question was another knife twisting in his gut. Like, the fact that his brother would think that he actually did it is, you know, it's kind of like the last straw.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? Screw that. Screw all these people. Yeah, I did kill Joffrey. And it just like, no, hang on. He first talks about like, well, Joffrey sucked. He tried to kill Bran Stark, and this is when they're both kind of come to the agreement that that's probably what happened. Mm-hmm. And then Jaime's like, yeah, but you haven't answered my question. And Tyrion goes into this whole thing. Are you so bloody stupid? Must I spell every little thing out for you? Very well. Cersei is a lying whore. She's been fucking Lancel and Osmond Kettleblack and probably Moonboy, for all I know. And I am the monster they all say I am. Yes, I killed your vile son. And then he makes himself grin menacingly so that he can
God.
really add the flavor to the moment. So Jaime turns away without a word and walks away. And Tyrion is watching him go, and for a second he's like, oh my God, I just want to tell him that it's not true and beg his forgiveness. But then he thinks of Tysha and he holds his silence.
Oh my God.
And once Jaime's gone, he starts walking off looking for Varys, and he's at the bottom of a stair or something. I don't know. Basically, Tyrion's like, you suck, dude. You turned on me. You didn't help me. I asked you to come see me when my trial thing was happening. And Varys is like, well, I couldn't do anything. The queen had me watch day and night. I couldn't dare to help you. And Tyrion's like, well, you're daring now. To which Varys replies, well, your brother can be most persuasive, which implies that Jaime threatened him or something to get him to do this. And basically, Tyrion does not like this guy at all. And maybe I should just kill you. He's like, maybe I should just kill you now. And Varys is like, well, you can, but if you do, I fear you may never find your way back to daylight. Because these tunnels are full of traps. And yeah, that sounds scary. Like, literally, like when they're in that dark tunnel where Tyrion has to hold Varys' hand to get to the other side. Imagine getting lost down there. Like, you would just die and nobody would ever know.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
Icky, I don't want to do that.
So Tyrion asks Varys about Sansa and where she is. And Varys says, quote, I have found no trace of Lady Sansa in King's Landing, sad to say, nor of Sir Dantos Hollard, who by rights should have turned up somewhere drunk by now. They were seen together on the Serpentine steps the night she vanished. After that, nothing. There was much confusion that night. My little birds are silent. At no point does he say, I don't know where she is. He just says, nobody found any trace of her.
In King's
My birds
Landing.
are silent. Yeah. Because I'm like, how does Varys not know these things? Varys is the master of these tunnels that Dantos used to get Sansa out, you know?
Yeah.
So this is like speculating, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
But do you think he knows where Sansa is, but is keeping that information to himself?
I think so. It certainly feels like it.
Yeah, did you have that inkling before I went off on my speculating?
A little bit, but with Varys, I feel like I never know. Because sometimes there's stuff where I'm like, how could he not know this? And it's like...
Exactly. You were like, obviously he knows everything. I think you said that about something earlier just today.
I think... I never know with him. Do you know what I mean? Like, I go back and forth with him. Because the thing is, sometimes he doesn't know stuff, and the author just wants us to dismiss it as like, oh, he missed it or something. But then other times, like, do you know what I mean? So I don't know. Like, this is always a thought, but I never know when it's important and when it's not. Because occasionally Littlefinger will be like, Varys doesn't know. Or Tyrion will be like, he can't know, because I did all of these things. Like, do you know what I mean? With Varys, it's just like, you just never know. So I don't know. Like, it's just, I don't know. Because maybe it's possible. Like, within the chaos, he genuinely just missed it. But also, the plan would have been made long before the chaos. So the chaos doesn't matter. So, I don't know. But also, the plan wasn't, like... I don't know. Because the stuff
you just said the word no so many times, if that were on the bingo card.
No, because the thing is with, I always say no because the thing is, now I'm very aware. Anyway, so,
No, not that no, but the N-K-N-O-W
oh,
no.
funny. Okay, because the Kettle Black's father?
Kettle. Oh, yes.
That guy, the row
yeah.
your boat guy?
Yes. I don't remember which of the O's he is, but yes.
So him, so with his interaction and the whole Dantos stuff, all of that, Dantos is not sly, No way Varys doesn't know all that, So it just, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. But then also, there are things that supposedly Varys doesn't know, so I don't know. And I think if anybody could trick Varys, it feels like it would be Littlefinger.
Right.
So I think he knows most of it, but maybe there are parts he doesn't know. I don't know.
Well, for all we know, they could be working together.
I don't think they trust each other that much.
But, working together on certain things while...
Yeah, being sly about other things.
Yeah.
I think that makes the most sense to me.
Anyway, okay, so we are really getting stuck on things today.
Because I think they both think that they give each other little nuggets that they wouldn't know otherwise. But then they're both able to outsmart each other in other things, so I just don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I think it could really be either way.
The only thing I do know is that we are determined to make up for the last short and lackluster episode.
I think so. I think we've gone completely the opposite direction. But yeah, valid points. And then he kind of, outlines, the whole dungeon levels, which was cool.
Yes. There's 4 of them. The top level where the common criminals are kept. The second level where the highborn prisoners are kept. And then the third level, which are the black cells, and you would think it ends there. But no. Mm-hmm. There's a 4th level that Maegor the Cruel had installed for his tortures chambers. Yeah. And they have to go through them. And it's too horrible a sight. So it's better to not see what's there and just go in the dark. Which... George R. R. Martin does this often where he won't tell you what the horrible thing is, but he'll suggest that there's a horrible thing, leaving you to come up with the most horrible things.
I don't like it.
I just almost want him to tell me, there's a rack or something. Yeah. Then I can at least be like, okay, that's what it is and be done with it. But now I'm imagining much, much worse things.
Yeah.
And it's just ugh.
Yeah, I was just imagining, I try not to dwell on it, because like you said, the more you think about it, the more imaginative you get. But I just because earlier Jamie kind of basically was like, oh, you're just gonna go through the sewers. So I was just kind of drawing a parallel with them and, Jorah and Barristan.
Oh no, but that was described in too much detail, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I was just imagining that, because I was like, I hope it's not worse than that, basically. Yeah, icky. I didn't like it. Also, question. So when the Night's Watch picks who they want, is it just, free range for all 3 cells, basic levels? Or, do they just go from, the top prisoners and call it a day?
Oh, I don't know. I think they have to come make a request to the king, and then the king can decide. You can have a pick of these dungeons or those dungeons or all the dungeons.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So as they're walking, Tyrion is thinking about how I arrived here a king's hand, riding through the gates at the head of my own sworn men. And I leave like a rat scuttling through the dark, holding hands with a spider. I don't know. That was just an interesting sentence. So I thought I would point it out.
Yeah.
Finally, there's some kind of light, and they step through into this little, what would you call it? Foyer? Not a
little
like a room for where other rooms extend
like a little junction of rooms, basically.
Yeah. And there's also a opening in the ceiling, like a shaft in the ceiling. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
We all know that I can spend a whole episode pondering the words that I was looking for. So I'm glad I found that one. But basically, there's some rungs going up it, and it goes up, and there's like 5 other doors going other directions.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also a dragon's head-shaped brazier that's like lit, or was lit. So like, I don't know, Varys has got somebody whose job it is to light the secret brazier so that he can use the secret tunnels. I don't know, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's a look into the logistics that we didn't have before, and you know how much I love logistics.
Please.
So, and Tyrion's looking around, and he notices that on the floor is a mosaic of a 3-headed dragon wrought in red and black tiles. And he recalls Shay telling him that she saw this when Varys first brought her to the Hand's Tower for him.
Oh my god.
And Tyrion's like, we are below the Tower of the Hand. And Varys is like, yeah, we are, but here's the door, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyrion's just like looking up the shaft and like, so how much do you have to climb to get to the room? I've got business up above.
Ooh.
And Varys is like, oh, we don't have time for that. By the way, it's 230 rungs. But like, we don't have time for that. And Tyrion's like, so what after that? Well, it's the tunnel to the left, but like, we don't have time for that.
Oh my god.
How far along to the bedroom? Well, no more than 60 feet. It's the 3rd door, but we haven't got time for this.
Oh my god.
So this is, okay, I am obviously saying it in a way that skewers it one way over the other. Like, changes the meaning of the words. But to me, this sounds like Varys is like, well, you don't want to, like, he's not actually discouraging Tyrion.
Yeah. Yeah, because
he could just refuse.
Tyrion, yeah, because
or he could be like, it's up the shaft and to the left, like instead of telling him the numbers and the feet and the doors and everything, like giving him exact directions. So okay, you say if you have something to say about it before I get into the whole thing.
Yeah.
Did this strike you as odd at all?
It did, and at this point, I was like, I think he's gonna kill him. And
you thought Tyrion was going to kill Tywin?
Yeah. Because
okay.
It just, like, the shift was so drastic, and all of his thoughts were like, I think, here's the thing. If the chapter after this one, everything with Joffrey happened, and do you remember when you were trying to convince me that Tyrion killed Joffrey? And I was like, absolutely not. He would never.
Mm-hmm.
This is the sort of writing I would have needed to believe you. Do you know what I mean? Like, as soon as he found out from Jaime, like, the shift in tone and, like, all of his thoughts and everything was just, like, there was no way he wasn't gonna go up there and be like, come on, Dad, explain yourself. You know? Like, it just, like, instantly, as soon as he was like, this is the this is the Tower of the Hand.
Tower of the Hand. Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, this is about to happen.
So you think, like we'll talk about how it exactly happens, but you think his intention always was to kill Tywin?
I don't think his intention was always to kill Tywin. I just, like, plot-wise was like, he's gonna kill Tywin. Just because of...
Okay, so
it's one of those things where you go into a loaded situation with a weapon, you're gonna end up using it. And although he didn't have a weapon in this moment, it was very clear, like, it just was one of those, like, this is how it's gonna not resolve. Well, I guess resolve in a way, but resolve feels too positive, you know? But, like, we just knew that was, it just felt like that was gonna be the resolution, not because of Tywin's, and not because it felt like Tyrion was always gonna be like, I'm gonna go kill my dad, but I think just knowing who Tywin is, and knowing who Tyrion is, and how Tyrion wouldn't get the satisfaction he was looking for, and it was just gonna escalate.
Yeah.
It just, like, especially,
isn't
like,
it fun? Sorry, go ahead.
Especially with all of their arguments we've seen before. And that was before, like, that was when Tyrion was just looking for validation from his dad. Now it's almost, he's not looking for validation. Now it's like his dad is the villain, you know? Like, it's different. So... But what were you going to say?
Isn't it fun when we have a smart author and a smart reader and then like the two things collide?
I'm dead. No,
because like
reading is so
the
fun.
author's doing all the right things and then the reader's picking up on all the right things, and it's just like so perfect.
I know. It's so nice.
George, you're so good at it. Just do it a couple more times. Then you can rest in peace.
Just get out a few more and then we'll leave you alone, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's got to also complete the Dunkin' Egg series. Forgot about that.
Okay, but if you're only gonna get one done, you know.
No, you need to get 2 done.
No. Yes. Yeah. But if you're only gonna get 1 series done, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so now this is a George R. R. Martin fangirl podcast. Like, usually I'm so annoyed with him, but this is just so excellent that I can't be annoyed with him, you know?
Yeah.
So, okay, basically, Tyrion figures it. Oh, wait, no, I was going to say. So, theory. Varys set it up so that Tyrion would kill Tywin. Like, he brought Tyrion to this area where he knew Tyrion would recognize on purpose. I don't personally subscribe to this. I think there's a few too many flaws.
I don't think so, because I think, like, this, like, the stuff with Jaime was kind of, like, spontaneous.
Varys couldn't have known, yeah.
I think the route would have been planned out in advance, because as much of a master as Varys is, he still needs to get this done efficiently, because like you said, one wrong step and you're out. And I know he's been doing this for years and years and years, but I think that there's only so much gamble you can take in a castle like this, and I think Varys isn't the type to gamble. Like, in this way.
I agree with you with like the pre-planned route, and also with Jaime's thing, and also just like he can't really 100% know that Tyrion would remember this dragon mosaic that Shay mentioned once to him.
Exactly.
All of those things. Although I do think that once he figured out that Tyrion figured it out, he was like, I kind of want to see where this goes, and he didn't discourage it.
I think I agree with that assessment, because Varys is very much like a let's see what happens, you know, type of vibe. A little bit, like,
I don't know,
like he plants seeds, or he doesn't, like, I don't know. This is a weird way to continue the analogy, but like, because
maybe like he's also picking up on Tyrion's energy, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
and possibly he overheard Jaime's conversation. So I don't know. I just like that. The thing that I could find believable is that he saw it, he saw this, like, and he was like,
even
what
if he
happen?
didn't hear the conversation with Jaime, there's still a logical argument in there for like Tywin said, hey, I'm gonna send you to the wall, whatever. And now this is happening. Or just the general anger of, you're gonna let your son die, and I know I'm innocent. Like, do you know what I mean? That could still be enough to drive someone to this.
For sure, yeah. So that's my thoughts on it. And I think we agreed on it.
I think regardless of whether he overheard or whatever, regardless of whether he knows Tyrion's motivations or not, I think regardless of that, it still makes sense for him to kind of like, not encourage this a little, but let it happen.
Yeah, not discourage it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, we can move on now. When I do the thing where I listen to it, but I also read it. I do both of those things. And when I saw the audiobook, this was only half-hour chapter, and Tyrion chapters are usually like 50 minutes or something.
Yeah.
I was like, so much happens in this. How is this only half an hour?
Yeah, I sat down to read this, and I was like, wow, only reading 25 pages today. This will be nice and quick. And then I start Tyrion's chapter, and like 3 pages in, we're like throwing grenades. And I really had to like get in there and start diffusing. Like, it was, wow, like, what is happening? Like, I was like, okay, this was not a quick little chapter episode, but okay.
Yeah. So, he starts ascending this shaft, And he, like, it's far. And there's like a 2.5 paragraph description of just how far it is and how hard it is and how much it hurts to climb. But he still climbs, and he could not have said why, because he's just that determined and angry and just all of those things. And then he finally gets to the 230th rung, where he can feel warm air flowing from the tunnel to his left. And if you think about it, it's warm air because it's behind the fireplace, so it makes sense. Anyway, I was just like, oh, I didn't even notice that, but it makes sense. Yeah. So he walks through, he goes over to the tunnel, and he is short enough that he can walk upright. But I was like, you don't know anything about these tunnels. There could be like a weird ledge or something, and then you can't see a single thing, and you just go smack face first into a... That would hurt. That would hurt so bad. Yeah. And he passes by one of the doors, and he can hear two of his father's guardsmen joking about him, and specifically Shay, and also trying to bet how he will react to almost dying. One guy's like, he's gonna weep and beg for mercy, and the other's like, well, no, he's gonna die like a lion or whatever. And he walks, as soon as he walks away from like that door, like he can hear them clearly for a few feet, but then right away, like the voices fade, and it's like, oh, this is how Varys knows everything. Little birds indeed. But like literally, he could know everything. The walls have ears. Yeah. Okay.
This was
it's never been more literal.
Yeah. This was one of those things where it made me mad. Because this definitely could have been put together like books ago. Like what personally. Could have been put together? Because like you could have been like their shafts. As soon as
you didn't think there were people listening in on the vents, I feel like I don't know. I kind of
like as soon as, but I don't think I realized the scope. Is what I'm getting to.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, I think, because we talked about this before, where, because I think I remember, like, at the beginning of book one, I think I, like, took it very literally, and I was like, there's literal birds that he has, like, what? Like, I was thinking, like, you know, the eagle on the wall? Like, I was thinking that, like, some sort of, like, warg spy vibes, before even knowing what a freaking warg was, but then I think that was cleared up very quickly, that it wasn't literal birds, like, it's a metaphor, you know? But then, I don't think I realized, like, oh, like, these paths and, like, everything extends everywhere. Like, you could be everywhere at once. You're like, wow, Cersei's about to have a meeting with Tywin. Let me just hop on over. All he has to know is where to go. And if he already knows everything, then he knows
just have enough little birds to staff all of them.
To staff all the important places.
Yeah.
Because you can't staff everything. That's illogical.
Right.
But all the, like, important places. Like, just always, that's, like, wow. Oh my god. And, like, it's one of those weird plot things where it's like, and nobody's just put this together? What about all the people that work for him? Like, how much does he tell them? Does he just tell them the path that they need for their job? So even if they were to go
I think I need to fill in blanks that haven't been filled, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it anyway.
Okay.
So his little birds, children.
What?
Because you need somebody small to go into all these tunnels and everything.
Oh my god.
So I don't know what the arrangement is specifically, right? But, like, kids are not going to be like, what are his political motivations, you know?
Oh, wait, that's so smart. Because I was just thinking, I was like, how has he been in control for this long? If he has
I'm just going to go ahead and spoil that for you, because we've talked too much about, like, we've literally contemplated this little birds issue too much, and I've had it.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm like, there's enough, like, breadcrumbs that you could have been led there by, like, small, well, you know,
it's an area tunnels. Perfect for a dwarf. Wow.
Yeah, like those kinds of things.
Okay.
Right, but like Varys didn't build these tunnels. He's just figured out the best way to use them.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like, my mind is blown right now.
I'm sorry. Like, I know. I'm sorry I spoiled you. Like, but I'm not actually. I'm just glad that we've come to this.
Oh my god. What? Because I think I specifically remember you asking me multiple times who his little birds were.
I know.
And I was like, I don't know
need
what,
you to figure it
and
out
I was like,
already.
I don't know what you're asking. Because I think that's one of those questions where, like, it's so pointed. Like, how am I supposed to answer it if I don't know what's going on?
If I hadn't told you, you wouldn't have found out until we finished this coverage, honestly. So, like...
Really? Is it not
basically
revealed until that long? That's crazy. Okay, so that's, like, a weird, like, abuse. Like, I don't like that little power dynamic.
Oh, yeah. It's got all sorts of implications, which we're not going to get into. But it's still... I don't know. I just, like, it's important. Like, it helps answer your questions, you know?
Okay.
And I will give you this breadcrumb because I'm really enjoying this chapter.
Okay. Wow, lovely. Okay.
So, George R. R. Martin better write some really good chapters so I can give you lots of spoilers.
Yay, okay. Love that. Another reason to look forward to happy chapters. Well, I don't know if this was a happy chapter, but, like, really, like, dynamic chapters.
Yeah. Okay, so finally he comes upon the third door, which he opens, and it opens onto the hearth. And
oh my God.
Like, if you remember, like, when he found Shay, he was looking everywhere and he couldn't figure it out. But, like, now we know it was the hearth that she came from. And so he edges past, like, the kind of dwindling fire, and here he's like looking around. He's like, oh, does he know? What am I gonna do? Am I gonna have to fight him? Whatever. When he hears a woman call out, "My lord."
Oh my God.
And that might have hurt me once when I still felt pain.
Okay, buddy.
He walks over to the... Okay, wait. Did you realize it was Shay right here, or did it take until it said Shay?
I realized it was Shay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did you think she was doing here?
Initially, like, when it was just like, my lord, that might have hurt me once, at that point, I was like, okay, this is Shay, but I was like, I don't know, I just figured, like, I was being naive, like, I just figured it was some sort of, like, trial, or, like, he's, like, some sort of deal, or, like, something.
Questioning
some
her
sort of
or something.
Professional relation.
Well, it is.
Okay, but that's different. She's terrified of Tywin. She literally says. That's a little different.
Well, yes, she would definitely say that to try to save her life.
Okay, yeah, but still, like, it was... Yeah, anyway, but I believe her. Who wouldn't be afraid of Tywin? You really think she wouldn't be afraid of Tywin, too? But yeah, I was like, wow, okay, something's going on, and then when it was like, she's on the bed, I was like, okay, Tywin?
Yeah.
Ick. So
okay.
Ick. Ugh. Get out.
Ick. Yes. So he pulls her to the bed, pulls back the curtains, and she's there, and when she sees him, she's immediately unhappy and shocked. Starts crying and is begging, like, please, the queen made me do it, and your father frightens me. And she, like, sits up to reveal that she's wearing the hand's chain, which
oh my God.
Yeah, just
So
all the things.
Ick.
And yeah, and he's just like, oh, all that time in the black cells, I kept thinking of you. And did you ever enjoy our relationship? Did you ever enjoy the sex or anything? And she says, oh yeah, more than anything, my giant of Lannister. The thing she used to specifically shame him in public court. Like, have you forgotten? That was like 2 days ago or however long ago. But still, that's a major thing, you know? And yeah, well, not to justify his actions, but it triggers him where to a point where he grabs the chain and starts twisting it. For hands of gold are always cold, but a woman's hands are warm. He gave gold hands another twist, and the warm ones beat away his tears. And that's all it says. It just says, afterward, he found Lord Tywin's dagger. But, like, we know that he's killed her. And it's, I don't know, it's well written, but it's a horrible.
This was horrible. I hated every second of this. And I was like, get out and stay out.
I don't think Shay deserves to die, regardless of what she said in court.
Yeah.
I think she has very little power in any of these situations.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not cool for Tyrion to take it out on her. Like, kill Tywin? Sure, go right ahead. Thank you. Favor to everybody. But
oh my God.
Killing Shay is the differentiating factor here.
Yeah, this was just
like,
kind of evil.
Yeah. Do you think he can return from this kind of misdeed, I'm going to call it?
I'd like to think so.
Okay. Like, do you think it'll, he'll come out of this, like, pretty much soon after he'll be back to himself, or
I think
will he be evil for a while?
I think evil for a bit. I think he's definitely going to need to see something that'll shift his perspective. I don't know what that could be, but I think, like, I don't know, like, maybe, I don't know, because I think if he ends up, like, going where we think he will, like, with the free cities and all of that, like, I don't know, I think being around a different set of people than he's been his entire life might offer some perspective, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know exactly how it'll happen, but I hope that with, like, the different experiences he has and all that, like, he'll be able to learn from that, and...
Right. Okay. He will use this hurdle to improve himself. I don't know.
Yeah, but
it's this, like, no, I'm saying that because that's, like, the thing that, like, motivational speakers say, and it's just like, I just hate it. Yeah. So I'm quoting it here, like, kind of over and over again.
Yeah, but it is, like, this is definitely, like, I wasn't, like, this wasn't happy, Like, I like, the amount that I defended him when you were like, he killed Joffrey, right? And I was like, nope. And I kind of want to eat my words a little bit now. Because, yeah, Shay wasn't a Lannister, but, like...
She deserved to die less than any Lannister, really.
Exactly. Like, it was like both of his murders, basically, were, like, it was different, because with Shay's, it was like, she really did not deserve to die, and all of that, and he kind of just took it out on her. But with Tywin, it was like he was killing Tywin, but he was also killing his ties to his family, and, like, that last shred of what remained of that, and, like, how he carried himself as a Lannister and was like, I'm a Lannister even if they don't accept me or love me, So it was, like, two completely different murders. One was, like, of his conscience, and one was, like, just, like, his heart, almost. Because this entire series, he's been, like part of his... Even now, he's
like, identity.
His identity, yeah, totally. Yeah, his identity. Because the entire series has been like, I'm a Lannister. Even if my fellow Lannisters don't think of me that way.
So do you think he's going to stop identifying with the Lannister?
I think emotionally, for sure. I mean, he's still going around being like, pay my debts, all of that. So I think, in a way, he's still identifying with it. But I think some part of him is, like, rejecting that he's related to those specific Lannisters. Like, specifically his immediate family.
Cool. Okay, so let's talk some theories before we move on to the next little bit of this.
Okay.
So Shay was in Tywin's bed, supposedly to provide sex work services, which is her job. But Tywin has always been on Tyrion's case about going to sex workers and supposedly hated the practice. And now it turns out she's got her in his bed.
That's...
I think some of the people that have the theory that Varys set it up are also like, oh, he planted Shay there. That like Tywin didn't know that Shay was in the room. And then when he went to the bathroom, he quickly like snuck Shay in and was like, oh, a lord's gonna see you here or something.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't agree with it either, but that's another
How's he
aspect
gonna get
of the
all the
theory.
way up there? Are there that many paths to the
like
Tower
another
of the Hand?
person did it for him.
I just think that that's us giving Varys too much credit.
No, I think like for all the reasons we stated before that it isn't valid, but I'm here to present any and all theories to you. So
thank you. I'm just rejecting that theory specifically.
Yes.
I'm not rejecting your presentation of it.
Right, but Tywin, clearly a hypocrite. Right.
Yeah.
So also something else that brings this up as I mentioned that we were talking about this chapter today, and I was like, here's the few theories that I can think of. Anybody got anything to add? Nobody added anything. So thanks for that.
Thanks,
but Mott's did reaffirm one of my theories as sex tunnels to Chataya's. Now, I don't know if you remember what Chataya's is.
The brothel.
It's the brothel that Tyrion goes to as like the intermediate. There's like a tunnel in the back of it that leads out so that he can then go meet Shay. And we learn at that time that the tunnels were built by a previous Hand of the King. And Chataya's like the brothel has been around for 20-ish years. And the only hands in that time were like Tywin plus like some of the like interim hands when Aerys dismissed Tywin and Jon Arryn.
Oh my god.
And this leads credence to that it was actually Tywin who would want it. Because everybody, well, not Jon Arryn, but the others could just like go straight to the... Like not everybody's as conscious of their image as Tywin, so it would make sense that he would want tunnels and a secret way to do it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So sex tunnels.
Okay, wait. So my question is, so those tunnels, I was actually thinking about this as I was reading this chapter. Because I was like thinking about those two, and I just like, what I was confused about was, so when Tyrion was going to Chataya's and then like taking that path down, so does that go all the way to the castle?
No.
Like where does it go to?
He would so what he would do, because he's not concerned about being seen in a brothel, right? He would go to the brothel, take the tunnel out of the brothel, like a few blocks away, and then ride a horse to Shay's house. What Tywin supposedly would do is ride to the entrance of the tunnel a few blocks away from Chataya's, get in this inconspicuous tunnel, and end up inside Chataya's.
Oh, because he just didn't want to be seen going in. But when he was there, he would be in Chataya's physically.
Yeah, in a private room in Chataya's.
Right. So he would just end up in the room, and then he wouldn't have to worry about entering and who else was there, and okay.
Yes. Or he would potentially have people like come from Chataya's to him.
Right.
But like more likely that he went, you know?
This little freaking rat. What the heck?
Yeah. So that's a theory, but it's basically true. Yeah. Oh, the other thing that kind of adjacent to that theory, or related to, yeah, like part of the theory is that there is a fair-skinned, blonde-haired, green-eyed sex worker born during the time that Tywin was hand that works at Chataya's. And it's speculated that she's his bastard daughter.
Oh my god.
I think her name's like Mariah Murray or something like that. I can't. Yeah, but basically somebody who fits the Lannister feature description in Chataya's, and is the age that she would be if she were born during like Tywin's tenure as previous tenure as Hand of the King.
Oh my gosh.
So Tyrion might have a sister, another sister.
Oh my god.
And then he doesn't have sex with her, but if he had, then all the Lannister siblings would be having sex with me. Okay. Now
okay.
why am I going down this road? Let's not.
On. Nope. We do not need to know that. Okay. So Tywin is a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, Tywin. I mean, that's most of these men, though, right? Because they're also like, oh my god, that's so below me, and then they all go do it.
Okay, so that now we did the unbelievable theory, believable theory, time for another kind of unbelievable theory.
Yeah.
Is that some people believe that Tywin set up Shay from the beginning.
What?
Shay and Bronn and kind of that whole situation. It kind of like infiltrated like Tyrion's inner circle and just set him up for failure. I don't subscribe to this, but that's a theory.
Wait, I don't think so. Wait. I need to think about this for a second. Hold up. Hold up.
I don't think so either, but...
So Tywin set her up as like an informant energy?
I don't know, like informant or
because the thing is, he never actually, I think the reason I can't give credence to that theory is like he never actually did anything with that. Like after setting her up, there was no like with the letters, there was Bolton and the Red Wedding happened. Like there's just even like a small
that's
thing,
a good point.
Just like nothing happened.
I don't believe it just like on principle. I just like gut feeling. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like none of it makes sense.
And I don't think he
but
would
you're
do
like
that.
actually pointing out like actual evidence from the book which backs that up. So I'm glad.
And I also just think like that's just so out of character. And like why? You know?
Yeah, I don't buy it.
It's funny not funny. It's an interesting theory.
I only read like the heading and I was like, I don't have the patience for this. I'm just going to mention it and I'm not going to actually get into it.
Please.
So, yeah, I did research. I mean, some of these I've like known over the years, but like that one was new to me that I learned like today.
That's funny.
And I was like, and then there were people commenting like, oh yeah, that could be a thing. Or like, obviously there were people saying that can't be a thing, but the fact that there were some people that were saying it could be a thing, I was like, what?
That's so funny. No. I think some of these theories come from us just like giving these characters who've proven themselves capable more credit than they deserve. Like just because they're capable doesn't mean they control everything, you know?
Yeah. There's two more theories left, and I guess we can talk about them like later. Because like one of them is related to the event, but the other one is like it's related to the entire chapter. So
okay. Oh my god, there's so many theories for this chapter.
Right?
That's so
Isn't
interesting.
It so juicy. Also, I've done my work better this time. Listen, the last 2.5 months, I've been on survival mode. So I haven't I can't give 100% to everything. And unfortunately, the podcast was the thing that suffered for that. So, like, I didn't do the thing where I read a bunch of things and I take notes and, like, usually my brain, I'm, like, mind mapping constantly.
Yeah.
But now that exams are done and,
Yeah.
like, work is done and I've got, like, interviews are done, like, everything is done for the time being, I can be my nerdy self again. And it is the most freeing feeling ever.
Yeah.
And I just want to live here. Can we just record the next 2 episodes right now so that I can keep this going?
Stop. I can't.
That's what I want for my birthday.
Yeah, nice thought, not happening.
Get it done before I lose the enthusiasm to life.
No. It's okay.
I'll tell you how many more chapters we have left if you agree.
I know
to
how
it.
many more we have. We have like 2 more episodes left. I know that.
Why?
Because looking at the pages, it just makes sense. I'm too smart for you.
So how many chapters?
I don't know. Like 5?
Okay. All right. I just need you to be wrong about something.
Oh, so I'm right.
I'm just joking.
You just proved me right. Thank you.
Yeah, we're not going to be finishing this book for a while.
Why? What do you mean?
I'm not going to say. It's a lot. Look at how much we're talking about this one chapter.
What do you mean? It's only a couple episodes, though. That's like a month.
Okay, so...
Wait, what do you mean? I don't know. Was that a joke? Or do you seriously mean...
I don't know.
No. What do you mean? You have to explain. What do you mean we're not going to finish these for a while?
Okay, I just want us to finish them sooner rather than later.
I'm confused.
And that would happen if we recorded more during this in-between semesters time.
Okay, moving on.
Wow.
No.
You were like, I need to watch the entire show right the fuck now.
No.
But when I propose speeding things up, you're like, no.
No.
I'll edit all of them.
No, here's the thing. 'Cause when we keep a consistent, steady pace, it gives me time to process, and then it brings us joy. Like, yes, you were like, oh, I couldn't give 100% to the podcast, but you needed that podcast break. Because otherwise, all you would have done during those days was interviews and die.
We're not going to stop the podcast. We're just going to move on to, like...
No, I know.
Like, we're just going to move faster.
I know, but it's just... these are satisfying chapters. Let's just revel in them.
If we finish this book, I'll let you watch another episode of the show.
Will you actually?
If you agree to record more episodes during the break.
Wait, but I thought we agreed. Well, we didn't agree, but you said we watch 1 episode a year.
I was holding the cards in my hand for a better negotiation moment, and this is it.
You're so smart. Maybe you're the little evil genius. Wait, let me think about this.
I love how I put you in an existential crisis over this.
Wait, no, I think you did this before over another thing, where you were like, if you do this, I'll let you watch an episode, but I stuck to my guns. But now I can't remember what... Okay, moving on. Not important. Doesn't remember what it was about before. Okay, but that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Because I feel like, yes. Okay, wait, can we actually watch episode 2?
So you're agreeing to record 2 more episodes during this break?
Okay, wait, let me see. Okay, wait, okay, so technically our next time recording would probably be like the 6th, right? So we just need one more.
Wait, no, it can't be the 6th.
Why?
Because I've got...
Oh, you're busy. Okay.
Business bros things to do.
Okay, but let's say theoretically it was supposed to be the 6th, which would be before the semester starts on the 8th, right?
Yes. So we would just be adding 1 extra recording.
Yeah, I can do that. And then...
Okay. Are we actually doing this?
So then that means that before the end of January...
Sure.
We're watching an episode of the show.
Well, we gotta get through the wrap-up.
Oh, so you agree that it's only like 2 more episodes?
I'm saying in January we gotta get through the wrap-up.
So it's gonna be over in January?
No, you're saying it needs to be by the end of January. I'm saying if the wrap up is done in January, then it'll be in January.
Okay. Also, okay.
We also need to read the next Dunkin' Egg.
Yes,
novel.
we should also have a guest for the Dunkin' Egg.
I already have a guest.
Who's coming?
I'm not telling you yet.
Why? Tell me. I'm your partner.
But if I say it now, it's gonna tell everybody.
Okay, fine. Also, you should probably edit some of this.
And I need to like confirm dates.
Okay, sounds good.
It's all staying.
All of this? There was
out.
some chaos. No, you need to edit like some of it. It's too much.
No, it was amazing.
People need to skip some of this. People are gonna stop listening.
They would pay extra money for this.
I don't think they would. Okay, wait.
I'll tell you after who I have in
good.
mind.
Okay, wait.
But then
question. Okay.
I'm thinking of having another guest somewhere soon.
Yeah,
too,
we should.
In addition
I love
to that.
I think at the end of books we should always have multiple guests. Because end of book is exciting, so make it more exciting. And we'll also have the watching episode. Okay, we should do it doesn't matter when we do it. We should do the watch episode after we do all the wrap-up, right before we start the prologue for book 4.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So we'll do...
Wait, so after Dunkin' Egg?
Yes.
So that adds more time.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Realize,
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
So we'll probably be watching the next episode during reading week or something.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Okay, so our timeline currently is finish this book, do a wrap-up episode with everything chaos, right?
Yes.
And then have a Dunkin' Egg episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then have watching the second episode. Okay. And then we start the 4th book.
Yes.
That's a great timeline. I'm totally okay with that. Okay, let's do it. I'm so down.
What have I agreed to?
It was your damn idea.
I know. It seemed like a really good idea, but now that you have agreed to it, I'm questioning it.
Okay, maybe you need to continue that conversation in therapy.
Okay. You telling me to do something?
Okay,
go to therapy?
Okay, it's
pineapple.
Okay.
For listeners, that's my code for I've said you need to go to therapy so many times that it's too many words. So the code word now to encompass that is pineapple.
What's hilarious about that is most people and most
friends
amongst each other use pineapple as a code for the guy that
for
they're interested
sex
in.
Things. Yeah.
And
wait.
What?
What?
Okay.
I thought it was a safe word for sex things common among people. That's why I loved it, because it was so ridiculous. What are you saying? Who's pineapple? What's pineapple?
No, okay. Often in girly pop friend groups, this is very much a teenage thing.
I don't have girly pop friend groups.
Okay, well I'm explaining it to you then. Okay, usually in girly pop friend groups, when you're in middle school or when you're in high school and you're around somebody that you're interested in, it's instead of being oh my god, Jason looked at me today, even when you're in private, you're gonna say to your friend, pineapple looked at me today. And there's this trend on basically social media and TikTok and stuff where all girls basically end up using the same 3 names, and it's always apple, pineapple. Do you know what I mean? Those are always the names that end up being used.
Because pineapple's a very common safe word to use during sex.
Okay, I think I knew that.
So I wonder if it all
it all ties together
from the same thing.
Yeah.
I thought when we were talking about people, we would say class guy.
Yeah. Okay. So Nav and I, what we use, because I feel like now, I wouldn't say oh, it's pineapple. I think that is very much a high schooler thing. Or even, I would say even younger than high schooler. I think the last time that I said that was probably middle school, but I think it is very much a middle school, high school, just very much teenage years thing. I think now, what Nev and I do is
in our olden age.
In our olden age, what we do is we'll be oh, that's class guy, that's bus guy, that's Pearl's guy. We'll
Pearl's guy? Am I missing a guy?
It'll be less creative, because childhood you is always a bit more cutesy about it. So,
Right.
yeah. But I think everybody has
I
their
love
little
having
things.
both said our understanding of pineapple,
At the same
but it turned
time,
out to
it
be
was
so...
completely different. We are...
Oh, I love this episode. This should be like bonus content
I'm
that people have to
dead.
pay like $100 for.
Okay.
It's so good.
This is... Okay.
I'm getting too big.
Yeah,
in my
this
head.
is getting...
Let's go.
You made like 2 egotistical comments in the same 5 minutes. But I think it's hilarious. Yeah, Yeah, I feel like you should put this at the end.
Sign up for our Patreon to learn more about the adventures of Harmouth and Class Guy.
What? Wait, which one was Class Guy? I forget now.
Remember.
I think there was multiple class guys, which made it even more confusing. This is why pineapple is, here's the issue with nicknames, is you end up using them for everything. Like, I remember with my friends being younger, and even people on social media have said, like, okay, and then everybody becomes pineapple, so when you say pineapple and there's multiple people going on, you don't know which pineapple is being talked
You
about.
go pineapple 1, 2, 3, 4.
Basically. And Nuv and I basically had where it was like multiple people were dubbed class guy, and then we were like, oh, class guy, and then we'd start talking, one of us would start talking about class guy, but the other person would think that we were talking about a different class guy. So the system doesn't work, but it's adorable.
Well, it just happens to be that you're a student, and usually you have classes in common with people.
Yeah, exactly. College life, university life, be like, I sound like an American. College life! Sorry. Whenever I'm talking to my American friends and they're like, yeah, college was fun, I'm like, you sound like you're in a movie.
College was fun? What, are they retired that they're talking about?
No, I'm just giving you an example. Like, they'll be like, oh, I did this at college today. And I'm like, Colgate? Like,
that
what?
sounds so wrong.
Yeah.
Colgate?
Like, my brain goes Colgate, or my brain goes, like, my brain just goes to, like, all, like, the, like, Punjabi songs or, like, Indian movies where they'll be like, this girl goes to college.
What songs?
Punjabi songs. And they'll
Thank you.
And they'll be like, this girl goes to college. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're always like
No, but in India though, there's like, okay, so college is grade 11, 12. Like, usually schools go up to grade 10.
And plus one,
and then
plus
after that,
two.
you go to a college for grade 11,
Yeah.
12. And then you go to university for your undergrad or whatever.
But I feel like in
So
movies, they always emphasize college. That's all they care about. They're like, wow, she goes away
it's
for
funny
college.
how, like, college has such a unique definition everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, in the U.S., like, universities are colleges.
Yeah.
But in Canada, college is, like, basically trade-based knowledge institutes.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're... Okay,
No,
can we get back to
it's
this?
a cool little life lesson. Okay, I think you should put all this at the end, just to give you my 2 cents.
I think it should stay right in the smack down middle.
And people stop listening after, like, 2 minutes into the episode.
We haven't gotten to the good stuff yet.
Okay. Thank you, whoever bared with us. Thank you, Slay.
Okay. Everybody who loved it, let us know so that Harmouth can just stop being weird about it.
I'm not being weird.
Okay. So, basically, don't make me edit. Please, for God's sake, don't make me edit. So, he's just told...
Joking. I'm joking. It's a callback. It's a callback. It's a callback.
To a conversation we didn't have during this recording.
I'm joking.
That's one of my biggest insecurities.
I'm joking.
Due to the trauma enforced by my parents during childhood.
I'm joking. I'm sorry.
I'm joking.
Okay. I was like, I didn't know it was that big of an insecurity. I feel bad now. No. I only say it because I know you aren't. I would never if you were.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, I don't like it. Go back to being mean to me.
Okay, I literally forget where we were at, but let's try to get back on track.
Okay, he's just killed Shay. That should sober us up a little bit.
Oh, God.
Afterward, he found Lord Tywin's dagger on the bedside table and shoved it through his belt.
Oh, God.
Then he sees like a mace and a poleaxe and a crossbow mounted up on the wall, and he goes and grabs the crossbow. Mm-hmm. And he goes into the hallway. He looks around. Nobody's there. And Tyrion's like, yeah, maybe I'll go say hi to those guys that were betting on me, and maybe the guy who bet against me, or, thought I would cry while dying, I will help him along in his journey to death. Because that's just what life is, right?
Oh my god.
So he goes to the privy door and he sees his dad there sitting on the toilet.
Oh,
and
god.
He's like, my lord. And Tywin is just like nonchalant. Oh, Tyrion, who released you from your cell?
Oh my god.
I bet it was the eunuch. I'll have to have his head for this. So immediately he knows that.
Which is
was
further
involved.
proof that's like, Varys, why are we risking it all?
But maybe that's why he set up Tyrion to kill Tywin, because he knew that he would be suspected.
Yeah, Varys is not all that. He could be all that, but I don't think in this case he is all that.
All right. Yeah, so he goes to, oh, this escape is folly. You're not to be killed if that's what you fear. It's still my intent to send you to the wall, but I just couldn't do it without Tyrell's consent. So now put that on crossbow and let's go to my room and talk about it.
So, obviously that's a lie, right?
Yeah, I don't believe it. I think he was straight up about to, Tyrion was going to die.
Perfect.
He's just doing whatever he can to try to save his ass.
Perfect. Also, the whole, like, without Lord Tyrell's consent, that's just because Oberyn's dead and Tyrell was on the council of where Tywin goes. That's why Tyrell? That's why he's like, oh, I couldn't do it without Tyrell's consent.
No, because, like, the whole thing with Tyrion poisoning Joffrey, supposedly, is that he also endangered Marjorie.
Oh, okay.
And if he Tyrell has this vested interest against letting Tyrion go because he thinks he was trying to kill his daughter, even though it was actually his mother who tried to kill his son-in-law.
Okay,
you know?
Cool.
That whole thing.
Lovely.
And
these people are all bloodthirsty. It's like, none of these people are like normal, you know? Like, I know we know that, but every time it hits me, and it's quite an effect.
Yeah, it's weird realizing you're reading a fantasy book. But also, we live in a world.
Yeah.
This world.
We live in this world.
And it's really not that fantastical.
No.
Oh, that really sobers me up. Okay.
It's like all the political and all the annoyance without the magical. Like, there's no dragons, but we still have to deal with, like, child brides. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, we take all the worst parts of these books and put them in the real world.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Okay, so Tyrion's like, okay, well, we're going to talk here. And I've got some question for you, and you owe me an answer. And Tywin's like, I don't owe you anything. And Tyrion's like, well, you've never given me anything. Give me this. What did you do with Tysha? And Tywin's like, Tysha? Who the fuck's that?
Oh my god.
Hashtag who the fuck is Tysha in the Discord channel.
Oh my god.
Because we have that channel that you never use anymore. He doesn't even remember her name, and Tyrion's like, that's the girl I married. Oh yes, your first whore. Tyrion took aim at his father's chest. The next time you say that word, I'll kill you. And Tywin's like, you don't have the courage to do that. Tyrion's like, you want to find out? What did you do with her after you... what did you do with her after my little lesson? And Tywin's like, I don't recall. And Tyrion's like, well, why don't you try a little harder? Did you have her killed? And Tywin's like, no, there was no reason for that. She'd already learned her place and been paid for her day's work. I suppose the steward sent her on her way. I never thought to inquire. On her way, on her way where? Wherever whores go. Tyrion's finger clenched. And Tywin goes to get up, but the bolt, instead of going through his chest, It goes through his bowels, and he sinks right back onto the toilet. And it's like, oh, you shot me. And Tyrion's like, oh, look, good for you. Always quick to grasp a situation. That must be why you're hand of the king. And obviously Tywin has to be like, you are no son of mine.
Oh my god.
And Tyrion's like, well, that's where you're wrong, actually. I am you, just smaller. Now do me a kindness and die quickly. I have a ship to catch. For once, his father did what Tyrion asked him. And it stinks up the place because it loosens his bowels. And it turns out Tywin Lannister did not, in the end, shit gold.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The way he ties together all of these things.
You mean
George R. R. Martin. And then at the end is just a poop joke.
Well, yes, but it's a very tied together poop joke.
It is. And it's, I don't know.
And Tyrion was looking for kind of last words or last thoughts,
yeah,
and this is a good one.
I don't know how I feel. Basically. Also, this whole exchange was it really, I mean, this is how all of their exchanges go, basically. Tyrion comes to him with something, and Tywin's like, you fool. And then Tyrion's like, no, I will. And then Tywin's like, okay, bye, basically. But it especially...
Yeah, but this time, Tyrion actually gets to go through with it.
But it especially reminded me of when Tyrion was like, I am literally your heir. Jaime is probably dead, and you need to accept that, and I'm your heir. And Tywin was just like, literally get out.
Right, but
reversed.
From what we know about Tywin's things is that he knew that Jaime wasn't dead and would be returned to him soon.
Mm-hmm.
But still, Jaime's taken the vows, and he just won't admit that Jaime's a lost cause in terms of his ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, it just... This was... Whoa. Whoa. But...
Yeah.
Yeah, Tywin really... Homie does not know how to gamble with his kids.
He also just, can't keep his mouth shut.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He deserves it. Very few people deserve to die, but actually, real world, I don't know if anybody deserves to die. But fantasy world,
die.
Tywin definitely deserves to die. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, wait. I had a couple of thoughts that I missed, I think.
Okay.
Let me just...
You think of your thoughts. I need to find a little quick reference.
Okay.
And then we will gather and we'll talk theories and we'll talk thoughts. Okay, I found my thing.
Okay. Couple of thoughts. First thought. The whole Varys thing, I'm still a little lost. Yes, yeah, Tyrion's useful ally, all of that. But I also just, Jaime and Varys were there at the same time, right? Couldn't Jaime just be like, I'ma tell him you did this? Or, something. He's gotta have something, right?
Tell who did this.
I don't know, to threaten Varys into helping him. Or just be like, you have to help me. I don't know.
Or he could be like, I'll kill you if you don't help me.
Right.
The threat doesn't have to be complicated, you know?
Right, true. Jaime isn't exactly the brightest tool in the shed. Yeah, okay, true. I feel like he'd be more likely to just be like...
Okay, hang on. Do you mean sharpest tool in the shed?
Shut up! Whatever, it's fine. You know what? I like brightest tool in the shed.
Well, I just like to keep my tools really polished, you know?
Whatever, okay.
Somebody's not the brightest tool in the shed.
Okay, hater. Whatever, okay? Honestly, I like my versions of saying so much better.
I know, I do too, but I can't just let them be. That would be unfulfilling for my duties as your best friend.
That's so funny.
it's my responsibility to call you out on everything, and as is your responsibility to call me out on everything.
Please.
And that's why we prosper.
Okay.
14 years later.
Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, you're right. He could have just been like, I'm gonna kill you. And then Varys already kind of was like, okay, I'll help you. Because it's beneficial. But still, it just feels like a really big risk, and I feel like I'm missing a piece of the puzzle. And I just want to say that.
I think you are.
Thanks. And I just want to say that so that inevitably when it turns out that like Jaime had something on him or Varys had another ulterior motive, I just want to be able to say, oh, well, at least I suspected it. So putting it out there. Second thing, I'm investing in my future, you know?
I love that. Do it.
Second thing, so what was their plan? Were they just gonna be, was Jaime just, okay. So Jaime, it isn't obvious that Jaime's involved in the plan, so Jaime could get off, like, freely, right? I guess it's the same exact as my last point. What was Varys gonna do? Because I feel like if Varys didn't want to get convicted, you need someone to blame. Who are they gonna blame? Like
anybody.
Yeah, but I just want to know.
If anybody's gonna have any shit on Varys or on somebody, it's gonna be Varys.
Okay, true. Yeah. Okay, fine. And yeah, I was just thinking about.
I'm sure. I'm not worried for Varys having a backup plan for this. Like he's still gotta. Like he still needs that. You know.
Yeah.
He needs it a little bit more now, given the death count.
Oh my god. Yeah. Okay, I have a lot of thoughts, and I don't know where to start.
Do you want to hear theories first?
Ooh, theories. And then I'll give my thoughts. Maybe my thoughts will develop according to the theories.
Okay, sure. So the first theory, idea, thought is that Tywin had Tysha raped by so many people so that if she were pregnant and there was a child, there would be enough reason to deny that it was Tyrion's kid, because they were legally married by a septon and everything. That would make that kid Tywin's like eventual heir.
Oh.
But it's a horrible thing to do. And does not justify any of his things. But it's people thinking about reasons of why he would do that. Obviously, the other why is that he's a horrible person. But this is like, he's a tactical horrible person.
Right. I think I could subscribe to that. I think it's really icky.
I'm just like, it doesn't matter anymore. Cause like, it's just horrible overall that this like detail adds little to it, you know? But it's a thing, so I thought I would bring it up to you.
Okay.
Okay, the other, this one you're gonna like.
Okay.
And I like, because it's great. Tywin was on the shitter, especially for such an extended period of time, because he was having a little digestion problem because he was poisoned by the Red Viper.
What?
So, Red Viper, you know, guy with vendetta against Tywin.
Yes.
Right, I know, but I'm just going to say it. Master in Poisons did a master's in poison, literally, like at the Citadel.
Stop, that's so funny. I always forget about that.
Knew that there was a chance that he might die in the fight against the Mountain. Wouldn't want to let off his enemy all willy-nilly, you know? And during Tyrion's trial, when, what's his name, Pycelle is recounting all the poisons that he's got in his possession, he talks about this one called Widow's Blood. This one is called Widow's Blood for the color, a cruel poison. It shuts down a man's bladder and bowels until he drowns in his own poisons. So basically makes you so constipated that you die. So he was so constipated, that's why he was on the toilet for so long.
Oh my god.
And there's going to come up some other evidence later on that I'll be like, this is also pointing to that. But I subscribe to this theory.
I kind of love that.
Right?
Go off, Red Viper.
I just love that, like, Oberyn's still pulling shit from his grave.
Yeah. Because then it kind of makes sense. Because as much as he was like, I want Gregor to whatever, like, I want him to say it, and that's why I'm doing all this. I feel like it also just makes so much more sense that he would already have the Tywin thing thought of. Like, it gives more closure to his death, because at the end of the day, Tywin was the one who ordered it. So there is a little bit more blame there. So, yeah, I love that. That's cool.
And with that, like, so Oberyn accuses Tywin of specifically ordering the death of Elia Martell and her kids. But there's also, like, and I think he also accuses him of it, but, like, general thoughts that he potentially also ordered her rape at the hands of the Mountain to get revenge for her getting to marry Rhaegar and not his daughter.
Oh my god.
Because he's that kind of asshole.
Yeah.
So, like, I could see that being a possibility. I don't want to think about it for too long, but I can see it being a possibility.
Like, that's why Tywin ordered it? That's the possibility you're talking about?
Yeah, like...
Oh my god.
Not that's why he ordered it, but another reason for why he ordered it.
God.
Or that he specifically sent the Mountain, who is such a cruel person,
Yeah. So he knew it wouldn't just be, like, an easy little death.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh, God.
Yeah. Horrible, horrible. Makes you even gladder that he's dead, right?
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I do wonder how, like, different... Like, we don't know how things are going to turn out, but, like, how would it have been different if Tywin had died by that poison as opposed to by this situation here?
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Yeah, maybe let's think about that later, like in
when things happen, and
exactly.
when consequent, like when somebody's blamed or something happens. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. Anyway, wasn't that fun? That was like many theories.
I love that. It's like a little taste of the wrap up. I like it.
Yeah. It's so juicy.
I love that.
And all of these were so relevant to this chapter that I was like, we're just gonna have to talk about them,
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, and actually as I went along, I like remembered a couple. So like
nice.
I added them as they came to me.
Nice.
All those years of stalking that Reddit finally paid off.
Stop. That's so funny.
So, and thoughts? We're 2 hours in and not even touched Sam's chapter, but it's okay.
I'm a little, like, mind blown. Do you know what I mean? It's like, Tywin is the epitome of love to hate. Because he's so wretched. But he's so tactical.
Do you mean hate to love?
Wait. Love to hate to... I don't know, I always forget which one's which. I think we've had this issue before.
Well, like, Littlefinger, we love to hate him.
We love hating on him.
Yes. Tywin, we hate...
Oh, we hate the fact... We're icked out by liking him a little bit, because he's capable.
Not liking him, but appreciating his tactical genius.
That one. I always forget which one's which, and I get confused.
No, I'm just... It's fine. I just wanted to be, like, clear what
I meant that one.
Exactly. Because, like, sure, I also love to hate him, but I think I hate to love him a little bit more.
No, that makes sense. I just get lost. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. You were saying...
Yeah, I'm just, like, mind blown, basically, is where we're at.
Yeah, this is like if you were on the Lannister side, after the Red Wedding, then you would be feeling like this. But since we were on the Stark side after the Red Wedding, you didn't feel like this.
Yeah, basically. Also, I know, like, Kay, basically, as soon as he was like, this is the Tower of the Hand, I was like, okay, he's probably gonna kill Tywin. And then, obviously, after he killed Shay, it was like, oh, he's definitely gonna kill Tywin. But it was still so, like, just the way it was done, it's like, even if you know what's coming, the anticipation is still, like, so, like, it still builds so much. And then, even though you know what's coming, you're still, like, shocked. And it's, like, so weird. It's so weird. Because sometimes, like, I don't know, like, I'm just one of those people, like, I hate spoilers. Like, do not tell me anything. Because I'm always, like, I think it's also because I'm so, like, judgmental of myself, too. So sometimes I'll, like, figure things out because of spoilers, and I don't want to, and then I have to question whether I figured it out because of the spoiler or because of me, because I suck at just enjoying things without making it a thing about me and my ego. So it's so...
Sounds like very familiar to a conversation we had earlier today.
So there's so much, like, my ego comes into it, so I'd rather just not be spoiled. And if I don't get it, I can enjoy the twist. And if I get it, I can be happy. Do you know what I mean? It's clear, you know? But I feel like this is one of those series where, like, I can understand how somebody could be spoiled and still enjoy it. Like how you were, because there's so much happening.
And also happening differently and more intricately and just,
there's
like,
just so much.
Things.
So it's like, you can still like it.
I saw this event technically in the show.
Yeah.
But it was so wildly different and not as well done at all that, like, reading, like, obviously I've read it a few times now, but also, like, reading it now and talking about it, I'm just like, I'm still in it, you know? I can just swim in it all day.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. So exciting. I have some thoughts, but I don't know where to go with them.
Well, just blurt them and then we will deal with them.
Okay. There was a momentary thing where I was like, will Tyrion shoot Varys? Like, if he continues on this killing spree? And then Varys couldn't even be blamed anyway? But I just feel like...
How is he gonna find his way out to the boat?
Oh, true. Wait. Maybe, like, he gets to the boat and then he's like... Pachoo!
Okay. But he's also relying on Varys' contacts.
Okay, wait. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. But yeah, but then I just basically was like, it just wouldn't make sense for Varys to die because he is so much of the plot. Like, without Varys, half of these things literally wouldn't happen. So I just think it, like, logically wouldn't make sense for Varys to die. But also those others real reasons why Varys shouldn't die too. So yeah, but there was just a moment where I was like, could he? And then also, I'm just thinking about, like, all of his deals that he made. And I'm just like, I don't know, like, just how much of Tywin's work gets undone with his death. Like, I just wonder.
He really is the linchpin holding it all together, isn't he?
Yeah. Like, all the stuff with Bolton, all the stuff with Frey, like, how does that develop? Because now...
And, like, who's gonna replace him?
Yeah, that too, because it's like, okay, technically, default is, like, Queen Regent Cersei, right? But nobody listens to Cersei. So does that mean, like, do Marcella and them, like, I was about to say the Viper family, the Martells, right? That's their last name? Yeah. Do the Martells take advantage of Tywin being dead to slide on in? Do the Tyrells take advantage? Do the Tyrells say, hey, Marjorie was about to marry the king, and if Tommen's still the king, we get this marriage done right now before more people freaking die, and do they say Tyrell becomes Hand or else we drop out? Like, do they, like, just think, do things fall apart? Do people listen to Cersei? Like, are they gonna try and swoop in and legitimize Marcella? Do the Tyrells go on, like, if Marcella gets legitimized, do the Tyrells drop the Lannisters and go try and make up with the family that they've never made up with for, like, centuries? Not centuries. Well, centuries? Yeah, centuries. Okay. I was like, am I exaggerating? No. Like, but then that doesn't seem feasible. So then do they just take advantage? Like, do they just try to take over? Like, what? Who's the Hand? Who? Because before, when all of these things fell apart, Does Cersei beg Jaime to, like, who's the heir? Who's the heir? Tywin's dead. Tyrion's not there. Jaime's Lord Commander. Does Cersei... Is it technically...
Yeah, technically Cersei.
Technically Cersei. And then does it technically stay... Because you know how the thing is, like, Tommen can hold it or whatever until he gives it to someone? Is it just that?
Mm-hmm.
Does Cersei try to convince Jaime to let go of Lord Commander and just be the heir? But now he knows that she cheated.
Yeah. Do you think he believes that, though?
Ooh. I think... Oh, that's... because he is Delulu. I forgot about his Delulu.
Wait. Okay. So remember his last interaction with Cersei where she said, "You fool, he's lied to you, so have I 1,000,000 times."
Mm-hmm.
So she kind of, like, incriminated herself, but I don't know, like, if he'll believe it was to this extent for him, because this is a major deal for him specifically,
I think he'll definitely inquire about it. I don't think it's like a no way, shut it down thing.
He's gonna ask Cersei.
I think he'll ask about it, and she just... I just don't think she'll be able to lie about... I think it'll be so sudden that she won't be able... She might try to deflect and be like, who told you? Tyrion, when you were helping him escape? Or, like, something. Like, I don't know. I just think this is, like...
Right, like, he also has a lot to be guilty for now, because his dad was killed.
So there's just so much. So now it's almost like...
so complex.
It's like, he's like, did I cause my father's death? In a way, like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's so much, but...
Yeah.
There's so much happening, and I just don't know.
Yes.
Like, but then... Okay, so Stannis is over at the wall trying to save the world or whatever. But... But is this a good time for him to try and swoop it? I don't think he would, because I think to him it's like, you know, he's finally gotten that sense, thanks to our man Davos, of, like, save the world to get the kingdom. So I don't think he will swoop in, but this is a good chance for, you know, like, the Oberons, the Martells.
I love it.
Like, there's just so much
Yeah,
going
just
on.
like for other
Everybody,
powers
yeah.
to try to exert their power.
There's so much happening.
It would be great time for Dany to come over, but she
Really
has decided to
far.
stay in Marine.
Yeah, there's so much happening, and I just, like, don't know where we're going from this. Like, I don't have predictions for you, I just have thoughts.
Well, how about we come up with some questions so that you can try answering with predictions. Okay. Those guards that they put to sleep, are they going to be held responsible for any of this?
Yeah, they gonna die.
Okay, so stay asleep.
Basically. Because it also just makes the Lannisters look so bad. Because Joffrey died at the wedding.
Tywin died on his shitter.
Yeah.
With a sex worker in his bed.
Yeah, all of that, and also, like, they already think Tyrion's a killer because of the whole Joffrey thing. So they think Joffrey killed Kinslade, and then they think that he kinslayed
Tyrion killed Joffrey.
Yeah, they think they think Tyrion killed Joffrey. Oh my god, now Tyrion is a kinslayer.
He is.
Kinslayer and Kingslayer. Oh my god. Wow. Okay. It just hit me.
So about that too, like, people in this world believe that the gods are against it, that there's, like, supernatural consequences for slaying your kin. And some people are, like, adamant that, like, Robb Stark killing that Karstark was his downfall. Like, I don't buy it. I think it was all the other things around him. But do you think there will be consequences for Tyrion having killed a member of his family?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not any supernatural ones, at least. I think it'll just be like, you killed Tywin, you know? Like, from other people.
Yeah, but, like, it wasn't necessarily supernatural for Robb Stark. It was just that everything went downhill, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm sure, yeah, like, he definitely can't just, like, I think it'll definitely be very hard, like, regardless of where he goes, to kind of conceal
So he's gonna get away from here for sure?
I think...
Like, the guards aren't gonna come in on the privy right away and capture him and...
I don't think so.
Or Varys isn't gonna turn him in when he realizes what he's done?
I don't think so. I think he'll get away.
Okay. I'm trying to think. I was trying to go in chronological order. I was like, what's the first thing that happened? They poisoned those guards. Okay, Jaime. Are people going to find out that he did this?
I don't think so.
Okay. And all the stuff. So does he believe that Tyrion killed Joffrey and that Cersei's been cheating on him?
I think he believes that Cersei's been cheating on him. I don't think he believes that Tyrion killed Joffrey. I think he knows... I feel like he knows his brother well enough to know when he's lying or not. I feel like they have that bond. I know that, like,
okay.
Tyrion stiffened up right away and, like... But...
Will he regret his decision when he finds out that Tywin is dead and then try to hunt down Tyrion to correct his mistake?
It's possible, but I think there will just be so much going on there that he'll...
Or those could be two different questions, I guess. Will he regret
Yes.
it? And then will he do something about it?
He will regret it, but I think it might just be, like, sending someone or something, because I just think, like, he might send Brienne or something, you know?
But Brienne's already gone.
Wait, she's gone.
To look for Sansa.
I don't think he might send someone else just because he has so much else to deal with. Like, the Hand just died. Like, I know that they're the King's Guard, but there's gotta be some protections around royal people, so...
Oh my god, the King's Guard's gonna be so fucked. They'll let another member of the royal family die.
Yeah.
Okay, so... Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Varys... You think he will be fine? Like, not dead, but...
I think... There's no way they don't realize that he had something to do with it, but I think he might just be too valuable for them to, like...
Right, but you don't think Tyrion's gonna kill him or anything?
No.
Because of all the reasons that I debunked your hypothesis?
Basically, yeah.
Okay, so Tyrion doesn't kill him, but he still gets blamed, but he gets free because he's too valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Who's gonna discover Tywin and Shay's bodies?
Either the guards or someone will come in and be like, it's time for dinner, or something, you know? Or...
Okay.
Varys might go back and try to, like, hide it or frame it differently or something. He might try to, like, frame it as though, like, Shay killed him, and then he might try to frame it differently just to, like, not...
And then choked herself to death with the golden chain.
Yeah, like, something.
Okay. Yeah. That would be interesting, for sure. So, who will kind of assume power? So, like... Yeah, who will assume power? Who will be the hand of the king? Kind of like all of those questions.
I gave you all my thoughts.
I know, but like give me your kind of one like
okay.
The top prediction for each of those.
Okay. Temporarily Cersei as Queen Regent.
Okay. And Hand?
And Hand... Maybe like Tyrell.
Okay.
Just because
Fair
nobody
enough.
listens to Cersei, basically. And the Tyrells might just...
But if Cersei's regent, then she's technically more powerful than the Hand. And the only reason she couldn't do anything now, it was because the Hand was her dad, so, like, he had that over her, you know?
Yeah, but even with the, yeah, true. But I think even when she was the one in power, it was, like... I guess with Joffrey, he had a different nature, though. Like, if she tells Tommen to do something, he's not gonna be like... No, Mom, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. It'll be an interesting dynamic to see. I don't know. But also that also puts another thought, because then, like, I think someone said earlier where it was like, so if it's Tommen against Marcella, what's Cersei gonna do? Because Tyrell would just be like, okay, shut down Marcella, like, kill her or something.
Mm-hmm.
But Cersei can't do that. That's her daughter.
Right.
So I don't know. It complicates things.
Sure does.
But I definitely think the Martells are going to try and make a comeback.
I am so excited for the next book.
I'm so scared. I don't know.
I'm so excited for the rest of this book, but I'm also so excited for the next book.
I don't know if I want to see what happens. This is scary.
I think we've covered everything. We don't have any other predictions. Oh, Tyrion. Where will he go?
Free cities. I think he'll meet up with our buddy Illyrio.
Okay, cool. See, specific prediction. I like those.
And then maybe one day he'll meet Dany. Because didn't Illyrio literally send those people to bring Dany to him? And then she just kind of took charge of them? I forgot about that. So funny.
Yep.
So he's probably expecting them
he also
back.
sent her ships with stuff and she sold them.
Yeah, he's probably expecting her back at some point.
Oh no, she got no. She didn't sell them because the selling was the fake, like, I'm gonna sell you the ships and the dragon, but not really. She turned the ships into a ram or something.
Right.
And siege towers. That's what it was. Okay. Yeah, she like literally took her resources to get out and used them to stay.
Oh my god.
Like literally.
Stop.
Okay. All right. Sam then? Okay, so we catch up with Sam and he is in the King's like meeting with Stannis with other members of the Night's Watch, and they're all kneeling before him. I thought that they didn't kneel before anybody. Or am I just... I mean, the free folk call them kneelers, but I thought... Because, like, I was like, the Night's Watch doesn't answer to anybody.
But just because they don't
they
answer doesn't mean they don't respect, and doesn't mean that's still not their king.
I guess, but it just, like, kind of shook me for a second.
I think it's still, like, if they commit some sort of treason or something, like, the king could theoretically still come in and be like, hey... You know?
Yeah, I guess. So, anyway, he's got all the candidates for the election lined up, including Dolorous Ed with his 2 votes.
And Bowen Marsh, even though...
Because he's the Castellan and
he's
currently in charge.
Right, oops.
Yeah. So, Melisandre's there, obviously, but she is staring intensely at Sam, and Sam's like, well, I don't get why you're so interested in me.
Oh my god.
What do you think? I was like, is she seeing that he's going to mess with the election, like, in her flames or something? Like, why is she looking at Sam?
I just started thinking about his heritage, and I was like, is he also a secret Targaryen that we don't know of?
Well, he's next to a secret Targaryen, so maybe she was really looking at Mace Rayman, but it looked like Sam. Maybe she was looking at Sam.
So true.
Yeah. Okay. So they're bullshitting. Slint is like, oh, you're a good man and you're here to help us and blah, 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 blah. And wouldn't it be great if you gave us some royal guidance on who to select for our Lord Commander?
Stannis in this chapter. He is so funny.
It's happening.
No, I'm not becoming a Stannis fan. I'm just such a Slint hater.
You're not a Stan
I'm not a Stan. I'm just a Slint hater. So passionately. And
yeah,
I will support anybody if they're against Slint.
You know what? I agree. This was great. Stannis is like, oh, if you by royal guidance, you mean that I should tell people to choose you. Fuck off. I know all the bullshit you pulled, like taking bribes and selling places and promotions. And
this was so
Slint's
bold
like,
of
well,
him,
there's
too.
no proof of
this
that.
Was so bold of him. Like, did he really think Stannis... Like, is he that delusional?
Yeah. Yeah. He still calls himself the Lord of Harrenhal.
Right, yes.
So, yes.
Oh, God.
And yeah, apparently 2 guys were prepared to come forward to testify against his, like, misdeeds. And they suddenly died on their rounds.
Wow.
And everybody knew what he was doing on the council, but Robert let it happen because better a thief we know than one we don't. And Stannis suspects that it was really Littlefinger who made that suggestion because he was probably profiting off of Slint's, like, corruption and stuff. So, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep.
And then he says, if it happens that Lord Janos here is the best man the Night's Watch can offer, I shall grit my teeth and choke him down, which was so graphic. And somebody references this again later.
Oh, God.
I think Pike is like, oh, it would be interesting to see him have to deal with.
Excellent. Oh, God.
Yeah, I'll point it out when it comes back
Yeah.
because I was like so taken aback by this vivid imagery.
Yeah. He's basically just like, we have a war to fight. I don't care who it is, but y'all need to be quick because this is not as important.
Yeah, like pick a leader so I can deal with them.
Yeah.
I promise I'm not going to make you lift your swords against any of the rebels and usurpers who plague me, but I will expect you to defend the wall and also to give me your castles and the gift, by the way. It's like that, you know, like in those commercials where they'll be like, all the benefits of this,
and then they sneak in all the side effects
drug
within half a second.
May cause death. Just like very like
Yeah.
casually at the end.
Yep.
And Cotter Pike's like, we're going to defend the wall to the last man. And Dolores is like, probably me. And honestly, it would be him too.
Oh, I love him so much.
He's great. So
and Stannis is like, yeah, you know, I have so many more men than you. So I could just like take
take the thing,
but I want to do it legally with your consent. And I was like, I don't think that's how consent works. I think you're just saying I will coerce you without shedding blood specifically, which is okay. Like I get it,
but not that I wouldn't do that.
Like I get it. He's like, you know, the realm against just like I get it, his purpose, but it's also like, come on, don't lie about what you're doing.
Like he wants to garrison all the towers. He doesn't say what his plans are for the gift, I don't think. Does he?
I don't.
Oh, wait. Okay. Another note. I actually meant to look into this, but I did not get around to it. Why do I feel like this chapter takes place before Jon's last chapter? Because all of the things he's talking about here, he has brought up with Jon already. And he talks about how, like, Sam told me that you gave him the dragon glass and all these things. And I want the gift so I plan to bring the free folk through the wall and all those things. I feel like timeline-wise, this conversation happened before the conversation with Jon.
Oh.
I just feel that.
I didn't even think
I
of
might
that.
be wrong.
Yeah. No, I think you're onto something there. That does make sense.
Right? Like, this is where Sam tells him, oh, Jon gave me the dragon glass, and this is where they discuss the dragon glass, and this is the first time he's bringing up the gift situation to the watch. Yeah. And he's already talked about it to Jon, so the only thing that makes sense is that, you know what, I know exactly. I feel like George R. R. Martin switched the order of these.
Okay.
Or this was, like, a part of Sam's last chapter. Do you remember how it was, like, Sam and then Jon? Mm-hmm. That this was a part of Sam's last chapter, but the chapter was getting too long, and he was like, I'll put a couple other chapters in between.
Right. Huh.
That's what I feel like what happened.
Right, yeah.
Not that it, like, ultimately matters, but just an observance. People who, like, if somebody else wants to, like, really look into it, I would really love that. Mm-hmm. And I will also try to remember to do it myself. But that's besides the point. Mm-hmm. I think we know that he probably wants to use the gift to resettle the free folk, right? Yeah. And then he wants the castle so he can garrison them against the others. Those seem like good plans to me, but I also, the whole like forcing the watch to do this is not cool. Why don't you instead empower the watch to do this on their own or something, you know?
Mm-hmm. I think he's just so...
Or like, if you're going to garrison them, have them be the ones in charge.
Yeah.
And then have your people do the grunt work kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, I think Stannis is just not very diplomatic in that way. He's very much just like, I'll tell you how to do it like this. Let's just get it over with, you know?
Yes.
It's definitely a better way to do that, but I'm just happy that there's somebody here doing it. So I can't criticize him too much.
Yeah, he's basically telling them that, like, at least be happy that I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he means to have all the castles garrisoned again within the year, and night fires burning before their gates, because the only thing that can hold back the cold are the fires. Ooh. And not just fires, but these religious fires. So he's like, participate in this obligatory religious thing, which is also not cool. Yeah. And yeah, so like Melisandre goes into the whole thing, like, yeah, the night fires fight off. Ours is a war for life itself, and should we fail, the world dies with us. And then Maester Aemon is like, it is the war for dawn you speak of, my lady, but where is the prince that was promised?
He knows.
What is this guy that's speaking fantasy language? What's happening?
He knows this. What? But I thought he was a Targaryen. Oh,
He
or
is
maybe it's a Targaryen legend thingy, so it's even more why Dany should actually be there instead.
Yeah.
This was cool. This was a cool little like crossover episode.
And Melisandre's like, look, this is the prince. This is Azor Ahai. This is not going to come up in any real way, at least not for a while. But Melisandre, it looks like, has this kind of assumption that the prince that was promised and Azor Ahai are the same thing. We'll talk about this later when it comes up and all those things, probably in like 7 years. But but it's not necessarily confirmed that those are the same people.
Okay.
So there could be a prince that's promised and there could be an Azor Ahai. And I personally subscribe to that.
Interesting.
For reasons to come in years. Not past, years to come?
Years to come.
Reasons to come and years to come?
Books
that sounds
to come.
so...
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. But just like, okay, she's like, this is the prince that was promised. He's Azor Ahai, and he bears Lightbringer. And yeah, this is where he's like, look, I'm here. You must live with me or die with me. Best get used to it. And get the fuck out of here. Except you, Aemon, and Tarly. And Sam's like, oh no, am I in trouble? So he's like, you're Sam the Slayer. And Sam's like, no, I mean, yes, I mean, yes, I mean, no, I'm Tarly. And Stannis is like, oh yeah, your dad, he's a good soldier. But you're not the kind of kid I would expect for a man like him to have. And Sam's like, well, I'm not what he wanted. That's why I'm here. Haha. And Stannis is like, if you had not taken the black, you would make a useful hostage.
Oh, God.
And Maester Aemon steps in as like, he has, though, so you can't.
Oh, my God.
And Stannis is like, I'm well aware of that. I am aware of more than you know, Aemon Targaryen.
He knows.
Aemon Targaryen, who has king's blood.
He knows.
I'm just saying, concerned for Maester Aemon.
Yeah. Just like I'm concerned for Jon, I'm concerned for both of them.
Yeah. And, Aemon does the whole, like, oh, I'm only Aemon. We give up our house names, and Stannis is like, yeah, doesn't matter.
Question.
Whatever.
Okay. So, does it, like, I feel like we've heard about this before when he was like, oh yeah, like, my brother defeated Tarly at Ashford. Can you just recap me on this? I don't remember this.
My brother defeated Tarly at Ashford. No, this is a battle that I assume happened during Robert's Rebellion, where Randall Tarly, Sam's dad, defeated Robert's forces.
Okay, because he was on the side of the
So it was just like one of the battles. I don't think there's like anything specific about it, if I'm being honest.
Okay, but he was on the Targaryen side.
Yes, so the Tarlys were on the Targaryen side, and no. The Tyrells were on the Targaryen side, and the Tarlys are sworn to the Tyrells. So then kind of like they stuck with that.
Okay.
Yeah, which is why Tyrell took credit for Tarly's victory. Okay. All these TY.
I know, it confuses me so much. I'm always just like, Oberyn? Is that a last name?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, oh my god. Because Oberyn's brother's name is Doran. And he's from Dorne.
Oh god. Doran Martell
so it's
Dorne.
Gonna get Yeah, it's just more and more confusing. Okay, so back to the conversation. Stannis is like, you slew this creature with an obsidian dagger. And yeah, Sam's like, yeah, John gave it to me. And Melisandre has to do like dragon glass, frozen fire, they call it in Valyria. And of course it makes sense that it would be, this is like exposition, like keep in mind for a later reader. Like this is like highlight this to remember later. Yeah, that's why it kills the others. And then Sam's like, oh yeah, but like it didn't kill the white. And then she's like, yeah, well it wouldn't kill the white, but fire would, so we can just so like it's like this is the how-to guide of the others and the whites.
Yeah. I love that we figured this out like so long ago and they're just now highlighting it.
Yeah, but it's good to like actually have somebody say it out loud so we know, like, for fuck's sake, finally, like, you know.
Yeah. I also wonder, like,
write it down in some book.
Yeah,
already.
Please. I also wonder, like, also, it's cool that it's on Dragonstone, so we do have a supply. So remember we were like, how are we going to get this? What are we going to do?
Okay, yes, 1 second. I still want to talk about the write it down thing, because remember, before they left for the big expedition beyond the wall, like the Night's Watch, Sam was down in the library reading old books to try to figure out any info they can about the others and the whites, but he wasn't finding any. So now they're finally like relearning this info that they probably had thousands of years ago but just lost.
Right. Because they don't
anyway.
have bookkeepers, nobody records anything.
Yeah. Digitize it already.
And they haven't had enough people to, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Stannis is like, yay, that's really cool because I got a bunch of Dragonstone where I'm from. Yay. On Dragonstone.
Okay, so I just wonder, so the different colors, does that mean anything? Is it like different strengths, like different level?
I don't know. I don't think we'll know unless
they test it.
Exactly. But I just kind of took it as like it's like a mineral, so like minerals take on different hues, you know, based on the composition of their area and whatever. But it's kind of cool. It'd be cool to have a purple dagger killing a white or White Walker. Yeah. And he's like, well, I've sent orders to my guy over on Dragonstone to mine as much of it as they can, but I'm probably going to lose Dragonstone real soon. I do like that he's realistic about that.
Yeah.
But hopefully that dragon glass gets sent to the wall. Forthwith. No, what's the word?
Get sent to the wall.
With haste. I was looking for like some old English word too.
We must make haste.
But I couldn't. Exactly. So that's basically that conversation. And then Stannis is like, yeah, I am going to... Oh, I also heard that you passed through some secret entrance below the Night Fort. And I plan to make that my seat because it's the largest and oldest of the castles. And while I'm fighting my wars here, I'm going to hang out there. And you will show me this gate. And Sam's like, I will if... And he's thinking, like, if it will open for you or if it's still there. And Stannis is like, you will, and I shall tell you when.
Oh my god.
Ordering them around. They really need a Lord Commander so that somebody can stand up for them. They need, like, a union leader representative, you know?
Please.
So... Basically, they're about to be dismissed, and Maester Aemon's like, hey, before we go, can we see this sword of yours? And they're like, oh, you're blind. What are you going to see? And he's like, well, Sam will describe it to me. So Stannis pulls it out, and Sam's like, oh, it's glowing, and it's pretty, and it's like a sunset or sunshine on water or something. And Aemon's like, yeah, that's cool. Let's go. And... Oh, yeah, and then Stannis sends them off with, your brothers will choose a Lord Commander tonight, or I shall make them wish they had. Which, okay, whatever, Stannis, chill out. Not whatever, Stannis, chill out. I get his point. I'm just, like, making light of it because it is 2:06 a.m. Just keeping people appraised of our mental situation, I think, is always helpful during these...
Honestly, we record...
thoughtful wanderings.
Not the thoughtful wanderings. You sound like a kindergarten teacher who's like, that was a very thoughtful wandering. Now let's get back to the conversation we were talking about. Yeah. What was I going to say? I feel like our best episodes are at, like, 2 a.m., though. But, like, in a bad way.
Yeah. So, Maester Aemon's like, hey. So they leave in the yard. Maester Aemon's like, hey, Sam, I didn't feel any heat. Did you feel any heat? And Sam's like, no, I didn't feel any heat from the sword. But the air around it was shivering like the way it does above a hot brazier. And Aemon's like, yeah, but you didn't feel any heat. And also, it didn't burn the wood or the leather of the scabbard. Like... That's a little sus. Almost like this guy isn't who he claims to be, and that's a fake-ass sword. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's just Melisandre's little light tricks, right? So...
Right.
So it makes sense.
And I like that Maester Aemon's picking up on it, but that also makes it more dangerous for him, because he's the only smart one around. Yeah, so... He gets Maester Aemon to his rooms, and Aemon's like, okay, you can go now, and we'll see you at the choosing. And Sam's like, well, can't we do something about the choosing? Can't you? And Maester Aemon's like, well, I am a maester, and my duty is to counsel the Lord Commander, whoever that is, and it's not proper for me to be seen to favor one contender over another. And Sam's like, well, I'm not a maester. Can I do something? And Aemon's like, well, I don't know, Sam. Could you?
This sounds like you when you're trying to get me to make a prediction. I don't know. Could he? Could he have done that?
Yes, well. As you see, it's very, very effective, so.
All right.
Yeah, Sam's like, you know what? I got this. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it before I lose my nerve.
Yeah.
So immediately he goes over to Cotter Pike, asks to speak to him. And
he goes to him because
like,
he was the scarier one.
Yeah. The guy's like, hey, didn't Maester Aemon send you? And instead of being like, no, he didn't, he's like, oh yeah, I just left him, letting him kind of read into that whatever he will, which was quite smart of Sam.
Yeah.
And then he goes into like, oh, you should like step down and let Malister be the thing. Otherwise, like Janos Slynt will be, and all of those things. And the guy's basically like, nah. Like, I'm just going to sum up this conversation as nah.
Yeah.
Although I grant you, it would be almost worth it to stick him down the royal craw and see if Stannis gagged.
Oh my god.
But nah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
He's basically just like, he's not a fighter enough. He's too like, oh, me, you know, whatever. Like, we need someone who can stand up to Stannis. Stannis is, you know, pushing us around. We can't take that. And I don't really, like, want the job, but, like, I gotta do the... Oh, well, he doesn't say that here. But he's basically just like, I'm doing it. There's no one better. Definitely not submitting to that guy.
Yeah. So Sam's like, okay, I'm going to try with the other guy. Clearly, like, he will be better.
Mm-hmm.
And so this guy treats him very, like, courteously and doing all the lordly courtesies and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, oh, hey, Sam, is your mother a Florent? I think I fought your grandfathers in the same tourney once or something. Also, Sam's mother is a Florent.
What?
Stannis is married to a Florent.
What?
Is there a relationship that... Why haven't they, like, discussed this and, like, further explored it?
Yeah, that's...
My mind was blown. I either forgot about it or never noticed it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But Sam's mom's a Florent.
Yeah.
Okay, there's definitely some things behind that, so somebody get those to me. It's probably going to be me. Okay, I'm going to write it down. Sam, mom, Florent. But basically, after I got over that little shock, the thing is, he does the whole thing like, oh, have you come from Maester Aemon? Does he have any counsel? And Sam's like, well, he's a maester and he can't tell you what to do. But basically, the guy takes it as like, yeah, that's why he sent you. So I'm just going to take it as you're his spokesperson. So what do you have to say? Oh, yeah, can you step down so that Cotter Pike can be the guy and not Janos Slynt? Nah. What if there was someone better? Like, this guy's complaint is that Cotter Pike isn't well-born enough and, like, doesn't have the diplomacy needed to deal with Stannis and that kind of thing.
Yeah, but he's also a little racist, which was a little icky.
Oh, yes. Racist against Ironborn, for sure.
Yeah, it's very much like they're basically equal but opposite. Honestly, they would get along really well if they just put aside their differences. Because they basically are like, yeah, I'm doing this for the greater good. And this guy actually has done that before. Like, even when Mormont was chosen, he was basically in the running until Mormont put his name. And then he was like, okay. So they both just do what they think they need to do. So it's like a good little, you know?
And either one of them would be fine. But the problem is they're competing so directly that it's like giving Janos Slynt the boost up. But basically, Sam's like, okay, so all these other guys suck and he sucks and all that. But what if there was somebody else? He never names this somebody else. But somebody that Mormont trusted and Donald Noy trusted and Corrin Halfhand trusted. And he comes from old blood, castle born, castle raised, learned sword and lance from a knight and letters from a maester of the citadel. His father was a lord and his brother a king. He's basically like listing out John's resume. He's like, these are the references. It's Mormont and Donald Noy and Corrin Halfhand, and these are his this is his education and these are his accomplishments.
Stop. He should be his career coach.
Honestly. And Mouser's like, well, he's young, but maybe like we could look into it.
I would be better, but you know, he's okay.
Yeah, like,
and they both say this too, which is so funny. They're literally could be besties.
And as Sam's leaving, he's like, by the by, Stannis said that if y'all don't choose a Lord Commander tonight, he's gonna name Cotter Pike. Just a little fib. No biggie. It's not corruption. It's not an illegal election. It's okay.
It's fine. Some lies are excusable. There's honor. It's okay.
Yeah.
This election is already like 100% corrupted. Like, this doesn't actually make it worse.
Oh, yeah. It's fine. So he's leaving and he's like, oh my God, what have I done? If they catch me in this lie. And then he's like, what? What are they going to do? I'm already at the wall. Like...
So true. Turn me
and then
into
he's
a white.
like, well, yeah, exactly. Given all that I have faced, including the whites and the everything, this is no big deal.
Mhm.
So he goes back to Cotter Pike and he's like, well, you said that you might vote for support somebody else, but not Dennis. And what if I told you there was somebody? A fighter. Donald Noy gave him the wall when the wildlings came, and he was an old bear squire. The only thing is, he's bastard born.
Mhm.
Now that's how you cater a resume to the job application,
Mhm.
guys.
That was beautiful. Beautiful.
And Cotter Pike's like, well, I guess that would like really annoy Mallister given the bastard born thing. And
Could be better, but
yeah,
he'd be fine.
yes, exactly. And once again, sounds like, by the by, Stannis is gonna force Sir Dennis on us if we don't choose a man tonight.
John's gonna be Lord Commander.
You think that's actually gonna work out?
Of course. I have been waiting for this.
Okay, but is he gonna be Lord Commander, or is he gonna take Stannis up on his offer?
But the thing is, if he becomes Lord Commander before he can take up on the offer, Stannis can't interfere.
So he won't get to make the choice. The choice will be forced upon him.
And
almost.
I think it would honestly be so funny because you know how John hasn't been there for the votes and like dinner and all that? Imagine he gets elected and he's not even there to pitch himself. Someone else just like. And I feel like that might be what ends up happening. So then to Stannis, he can be like, oh, well, I didn't do this. I didn't mean to get elected. But it's a great way to say no without putting himself in the line of fire of Stannis. And it's like almost kind of perfect.
Right.
But then we also...
But it does take agency away from John, you know?
Yeah, but like he's going to be a great Lord Commander. It's fine.
Okay.
And I think at the end of I think he'll like
I would just want him to choose to be the you know?
Yeah.
Maybe like he has to consent to the election if he does get elected, and he
but
doesn't
also
even
like
know about
Donald Noy has tried so hard. No, what's his name? Dolores Ed has tried so hard to get his name out, and he hasn't been able to take it out. So it might just be a how they do it thing.
Right. That makes no sense.
So it's like that's just not how they do it.
They're like really harking on he doesn't want the job. He's perfect for the job.
Yeah, I think sometimes, and I think there is something to be said about like people who don't want the job are often better suited for the job anyway. So
yeah,
I don't know,
but not always, not necessarily.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think the only prediction to come out of this.
Okay, so I was kind of
right. So you think John's going to be Lord Commander? Elected during this election. He will be the 998th Lord Commander of the Night's Watch.
Okay, that was too specific to not be true.
No, because they mention it.
Yeah, whatever, it's fine.
Okay. Well, it stood out to me because, like, you would think it would be like the 999th or like the thousands. Why is it the 998th?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
It just annoyed me. The Stannis's plan with the garrisoned castles and the gift and everything, is that going to work out?
I think so.
So John's going to be the one kind of like arranging that?
I think so.
If he's Lord Commander, then? Is John going to be a good Lord Commander?
Of course.
Cool.
I'm so excited. Lord Snow!
Is Maester Aemon going to do anything with that info about how he's like, that guy's not real?
I don't think so.
Why was Melisandre staring at Sam and or Maester Aemon?
I mean, King's blood. I think...
For Maester Aemon, but what about for Sam?
She was probably just like... I don't know, she was probably just like trying to see into him a little bit, like, oh, he did that, like, who's he really, you know? And I think from from their perspective, it's also intriguing, because he's kind of just like this, like, little, like, kid who's not very, like, you know? Like, you just wouldn't expect it from him, so I think it's also just intriguing.
Okay. What about... Will people follow John as Lord Commander?
I think certain people will. I think certain people
Okay,
won't.
who won't?
Alistair, Slint,
and how will he deal with them?
He'll probably just have to, like, constantly be making his case. But the thing is, if he gets elected, it's one of those things where enough people will support him that it'll be fine. But I think it'll also be kind of like, they'll be like, oh, well, we voted for you, so you should listen to us, because I think a lot of them probably see him, because he's younger, he's bastard born, like, they probably see him as lower, like, some of them, like, people like Alistair and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like there will definitely be some of those feelings of, like, oh, you're not going to listen to my idea when I elected you. So that might be a conflict, but I think for the most part, the authority hopefully keeps at least a bit of it in check.
Right. Okay. Coolio. I am yawn central over here. So we have emails. Let me see. Let me try to quantify them. Oh, we got another one while recording.
That's so funny.
Oh, I have to read this now. Okay, hang on. Let me just make sure that it's not spoilery. Okay, so while recording, we got an email from Yaya, and it is so relevant to this episode because I think I announced that we're recording this episode that I'm going to read it first, even though it came after. Let me just pull it up. It's titled Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead.
Stop. That's kind of beautiful.
Dearest Harmouth and Nuv, I have been dying to listen to this episode ever since Harmouth became Tyrion's defense lawyer and kept insisting he couldn't possibly become a kinslayer. You know
what? I said that in a different context, and I was right about that context. So I will need y'all to keep it to yourselves.
Insert meme of drag queen sipping on her cocktail here. I would like to point out that Harmouth came this close to predicting this in the episode about chapters 49, 50, and 51 of A Clash of Kings. You guys were talking about Bale the Bard and how this kid ended up killing him. And so that was like Bale the Bard's own son ends up killing Bale the Bard.
Wait, why? Like, what happened?
Oh my god. It's the story of, there was like Bale the Bard, who was a free folk, went over to Winterfell, stole the guy's daughter, left a rose or something, like a winter rose in her stead. Mm-hmm. And like Ygritte tells us to Jon. And then like 9 months later, he returns the daughter with a kid who is her kid. But then later the kid grows up to be Lord of Winterfell and ends up battling the free folk and killing his own dad. And it was like around the time we were figuring out that, ooh, this is like a kind of like a parallel to Jon's, like maybe it's Lyanna Rhaegar Jon thing, like, you know? But in that, Bale the Bard killed his dad. And Harmouth went something like, this whole kinslaying thing feels like it's a hint that someone's going to kill their dad. But whose dad is alive? We only have Tywin.
Did I actually say that?
It's in quotations.
Do you remember that?
Now that I've read it, I remember it. And
you know
me being
what?
like,
I
wonder who's going to kill their dad.
I remember that. And then, like, we tried to figure out other people whose dads were alive. Oh my god, I'm so smart sometimes, but I stop right before getting there, and it's so annoying. Like, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, anyway. Meme of drag queen sipping on her cocktail intensifies.
Stop. That's so funny.
As always, Harmouth is our Melisandre. Anyway, as you might have surmised from the many times I've called Tywin a narcissist in the Discord, I don't really love the dude. He's way overrated in my opinion, and I have rarely felt the amount of satisfaction I did when he died in such a humiliating fashion. I can't deny that he's an incredible character, though. To quote one of my favorite TikToks about him, career highlight, facilitating gang rape of son's first love and elaborate scheme to convince said son no one could ever love him. Signature kill, ableism. No, sorry, signature skill ableism.
Stop.
How is it that these like resumes are coming up today?
Literally.
Honestly, he's not even remotely hot enough to act like this. This
Stop.
series is a game of who's your favorite war criminal, and being a DILF would have been a significant advantage.
Stop.
Also, the man was bald but kept the sideburns. That's probably the worst of his crimes.
Wait, is that what he's supposed to look like?
Yes.
Okay, I don't remember that.
Oh, I'll show you like an art of fan art of him or something. That's not what he looks like in the show, and I think he is what you would quantify as a DILF.
Okay.
Yes. And also just like a fantastic actor.
Interesting.
The casting in that show is too good. Okay. Now, on to the juicy stuff. A question for Harmouth. Do you believe Tywin knew about the twin cysts? I'm very conflicted about it myself. On one hand, I doubt he would have simply ignored it if he knew. Although he does believe in Lannister supremacy, so maybe he may not have objected. Who knows? But on the other hand, he was at the very least not dumb. How could one raise Cersei and Jaime and not notice? Perhaps he was simply too focused on traumatizing Tyrion to care about his stupid heir and his broodmare. Daughter.
I think... Yeah, we've definitely talked about this before. I don't know. I kind of go back and forth too, but I think it's one of those, like, I think the conclusion we've come to is just, like, he was smart enough to figure it out, but he also just, like, wanted to ignore it so badly, and he did. So he just, like, successfully...
I think in his deepest of hearts he knew, but if he even, like, acknowledged it to himself, it would make it real, so he was like, nah,
like, it was just, like, there was just so much to deal with, and I think there's also that aspect of, like, Jaime has to be perfect thing where it's just like I can't wreck that fantasy. So I think that also makes sense as to like just him harping on everything else so much. Especially with all the Tywin shit of just being like, well, I can't criticize my perfect child, so let me criticize the other one.
I agree. Okay, so honestly, if Tyrion hadn't killed the old fart and left it there, this would have been a genuine good for him moment. Alas, he chooses to be boyfriend of the year and ruins it. My girl Shay deserved so much better. I hope she's getting hit on by Rob in the afterlife or something. Actually, I just realized there's Theon there too, and I don't want him anywhere near her, so scratch that. I've written more in this email than George has in 12 years, so I should get to the conclusion. I hope you both have a wonderful day. Yaya. P.S. In case it wasn't clear, in all caps, fuck Tywin. P.P.S. The working title for this email was He Died as He Lived, Causing a Shitstorm.
Stop. That's so funny.
That should have been our intro.
Should have. Oh my god.
Oh, that was an amazing email, Yaya.
Thank you for sharing that. That was beautiful.
Yes, and so timely. Yeah. Okay, since we're reading them in backwards order anyway, so I'm going to read the next most recent, which was a couple days ago. And it's from Mas, who has sent us emails before. Hey, dudes. It has no subject. Hey, dudes. Been a while. Wanted to send this after the second to last Davos chapter or after the guest episode, but here we are several episodes late. Stan would have definitely killed that kid, and I would still be a fan. The only no would be if he kills his daughter, because you were like, what if? Wish Emily could be on the blank episode. It's not a spoiler now, right? Wrong. Yeah, note, I'm still on the Arya section of the episode. Knowing myself, if I complete the episode without sending this, I'll never send it, so I don't know what happens afterwards. Anyway, great pod as always, and I'm planning to reread the next book with you, hoping that I will be done with Shogun when you start. I think that's a new show that's coming out. I know I'm in the majority of it, being our least favorite, and I nearly did not finish it. Maybe your assistance will improve my enjoyment of the book this time. Ooh. Happy holidays and much love, Mas.
Wait, the fourth one was their least favorite?
Yes.
Interesting.
A lot of people don't like it, but it's one of my favorites.
Oh.
It's the kind of book that improves on reread. But I'm hoping that with my vast knowledge and expertise, I can simulate the rereading experience for you while reading it for the first time.
You can't do that without spoiling me on things.
Yeah, like it, but I could do it to some degree. I can help make the connections that you make on the second go around, you know?
Yeah.
Right? So, like, I stand by it. Like, this fourth book is actually one of my favorites. It's probably like third, first, fourth, second, fifth for me.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
It might even be third, fourth, first, second.
Really?
I can't remember.
Huh.
Yeah, I really like that book, but I'm also, you know me, I'm very specific about my...
So this is your favorite book of the series? I think I knew that. Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Wait, but that's sad. So does it get downhill from here?
No, but there's still plenty of really good stuff. And I anticipate that if book 6 ever comes out, it'll probably be my favorite, but like... Who knows? Yeah. Okay, that was great. Was there a question in there? Just to make sure. Yeah, we hope you read the book with us too, and hopefully it'll be more enjoyable this time.
Thank you, both of you. Slay, slay.
Happy holidays to you too. Yay. That was a very nice email. And I think we're actually going to stop with the emails today because the other 2 emails are generally overarching and not as specific to these chapters. So since we are at the time that we're at, we're going to save them and savor them at a later time when we are not half brain dead. What is the next thing we do? Oh, we didn't do next chapters. We totally didn't do next chapters.
Yeah. I was going to remind you. Don't worry.
Okay, because I went into emails and we usually do this before emails. This is how tired I am.
I think we needed a break.
This is going to be our longest episode ever.
I think people need it after our shortest episode in millennia.
A while. Okay. Except for Ola, who liked the short episode. Sorry, Ola. You're not getting that anymore. Ola probably didn't make it to all the way to here anyway, so sorry.
Oh my god, if you did, we love you, but you might not have if you got annoyed.
Yeah, read it, listen to it in chunks. Like, whenever we go on a tangent, go take a break.
Honestly, not gonna lie to you guys, me and Nev both did not like our little short episode last time. Like, not that we didn't like it, but it just wasn't as good. I feel like the tangents just, like, bring out the best in us.
Well, we were also very, very tired and anticipating exams and things. So it's like, I don't regret it. I think I would rather that we get an episode out than, like, not have an episode at all.
Yeah, there was nothing wrong with it.
Because it helps us with the consistency.
It just wasn't as beautiful.
It wasn't up to our standards.
Yeah. But I think we're also just very critical.
Now,
so moving on.
Yeah. You can give us feedback on the episodes. I can't guarantee we'll incorporate it because we're gonna do whatever the hell we feel like doing. Like, we're gonna do long episodes or short episodes, or mostly it's not even us like deciding it. It's just what happens
vibes, you guys,
automatically. Yes. No thoughts, just vibes. Next chapters. Thoughts and vibes.
Let's go with
2 next time. I should tell you that.
Let's go with like a Jamie and a John.
Okay, well, we're reading chapter 79 and 79 and 80. I was about to do the French. No, but that would be 80.
Just 80.
Yeah, and not quite French. Not because, like, 70 is 78.
No, 70.
No. 70. Oh, I've forgotten all my French. I should stop trying. The other day, I was trying to give somebody directions to, like, and I was like, there's an orange door. Le porte orange. And No. I said it, but like all that stuck with me from that conversation was me saying Le Porte Orange. And I couldn't. It was okay. Tangent. Chapters 79 and 80. That's what we're doing next time. And I don't care about anything.
Now you're going to tell me what they are before you have a mental breakdown on the air.
Thank you. Chapter 79 is John.
I'm such a genius. Yeah, we're going to find out the results of the little election.
C'est toi? C'est tu? No. Wait, I'm trying French and it's not good. That's all.
Arrête, s'il vous plaît. Oui.
You mean arrêtez-vous, s'il vous plaît. Stop thyself. Okay. Wait, what did you say? John's election? What did you say after that?
Oh yeah, we'll find out the results of the election. Someone will like run up to him and be like, Sean, you're our new Lord Commander. And he'll be like, what are you on about? I'm still trying to deliberate whether I should be freaking, you know? And he'll just be like, how did I go from 0 positions to 2 positions?
Okay, cool. He's got all the job offers. Oh, I love this parallel.
Stop. I can't. Also, it is arrête, because I was using the imperative.
No, but then you said s'il vous plaît.
Okay, that was just a little add-on. Because then I felt impolite.
I guess we were both
Because then I felt impolite, and I was like, oh, it's fine.
No, but you could say s'il te
I know,
plaît.
but I was trying to save, like, the rudeness in the beginning half, you know?
You can't just change the level of your rudeness mid-sentence. That's not how French works. You decide how rude you are and you stick with it. That is the French way.
That's how people-pleasing works, okay?
Okay. Can we get off the French topic? Because my brain really can't be processed.
Okay,
like,
who's
already.
the second chapter we're reading?
I wrote it down, but I drew so many things around it that I can't even read it. We've been talking for so long that my doodles usually don't go this far. Chapter 80 is Sansa.
Wait, what was she doing? I don't even remember. Oh, she's that little... Oh, she's going to the Vale.
Erie.
Oh.
She's in the Vale. She's going to the Erie.
Wait, what?
Vale is like the province and Erie is like the city. No, it's like the castle. Vale is the general area. It's like the north or the south or Dorne or something.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. She's going to the Erie.
She's married to Robert. She's hanging out with Robert.
She's gonna get married now?
She'll meet Robert and she'll be like, what have I gotten myself into?
Okay, that's it?
I don't know. I'm tired.
Okay, try to give me one more prediction about anything where, like, you can be like, she hates the food or she loves the clothes. Like
she meets Maya. Okay,
cool. I will take that. How about one more?
Oh, you're so annoying. I think she'll like the views. She'll be like,
how will they all get along?
Okay, now you're interrupting my prediction.
Fine.
She'll like the views and she'll be like, young and me would have loved this so much back when I was sweet and innocent, and we'll feel bad and it'll be like Arya's depressing chapters all over again. How will they get along? I don't think any of them will like Littlefinger, rightfully so. I think they'll all like Sansa because she's a little princess. Yeah.
Right, but I meant like amongst the family. Like, how will she get along with Robert? How will Robert get along with her? How will she get along with her aunt? And those kinds of things.
I mean,
Aunt... Who cares about all the other people?
Aunt, ick. Robert, ick, but I can deal with it. It's just a child. I just have to kind of play with him, whatever. Except he'll definitely be bratty, but she'll just have to take it.
Okay. Littlefinger will be smug over it all.
Basically, as per usual.
Alrighty then. We've done emails, or the emails that we have the brain for. And, I guess send us more emails. Now the timeline has jumped up, so you better send them soon. I don't think you get them in before the wrap up.
Yeah. And send in all your theories and predictions and thoughts, because I want so many thoughts and so many theories, and I want to be like, oh my god, the series is cray.
Yes.
Yes.
What did you just say?
What
I
did
just
say?
zoned out.
Just get in your stuff.
Okay, thank you. And also join the chats on Discord. It's fun, we promise. But also, like, you don't have to, no pressure. But it would be great if you did.
That's a terrible pitch.
I don't know, like, it's no pressure really, but like it's fun when people do. And then like people send them Renly's peaches and Varys's birds. And Harmut sometimes reads them.
You know what? I have little spams where I go through and I read every single message.
Yes, and then we have to scroll all the way up to see what the hell you're talking about, because it happened 3 weeks ago.
You do not have to swipe. You can just click on it.
I know, but then we have to swipe back down.
It's fine. Just deal with it.
Such a brat.
I'm not a brat, okay? Moving on. You're making them not want to join.
Okay, well, anyway, I guess you could follow us on Instagram. Not that there's anything to see there.
Excuse you. Why are we ending the episode in this way?
Because
you need to change all of that.
No.
You need to change all of that.
No, do follow us on Instagram. I, at the very least, will like post a like thing of when like we have posted, so that there's a thing, so that you know to look for the thing. Was that better?
No! Okay.
What do you expect? I've been talking for... We talked for 2 hours before. It's been 5 hours. I'm tired of your face.
Okay. Shh. Moving on.
Can you do it?
Join us on... Shh. Yes, I will do it. Okay. Okay, guys. Make sure... I can't. Okay. I have to pretend all of that didn't just happen. Okay.
Well, okay, I'm leaving it in, so you don't have to pretend.
What? That's maniacal. Why would you do that?
Because it's fun.
It's not. Okay. Join us on Discord. It'll be really fun and fresh over there, especially with the end of the book coming up. Follow us on Instagram. We will be posting. It's just been crazy with finals weeks, the last few weeks. Oh my god, I can't speak. Now I know how you feel. Anyway, okay, I'm saying all of that again. Okay, join us on Discord. It's a really fun time, and it'll be even more fun because we're all awaiting the end of this book, which will probably be in like the next 2 episodes. And you should follow us on Instagram. We're gonna be posting. There was just a little break with finals, you know how it is. If you're a college kid,
little break since November 12th, but it's fine.
You know what? You're a hater, and you need to cut all of that out.
I'm gonna keep it. It's so fun.
No, note it down right now, and you're cutting it out.
I'm not cutting it. That's so much work.
Are. You're a hater. It's 2 seconds.
1, 2. You didn't talk about the email, or did we do that sufficiently?
I think we said that enough.
Okay, I think that's when I zoned out.
Yeah, basically email us, follow us on
Happy New Year, because this is supposed to go up in the new year.
Oh yeah, this is your New Year's treat.
Yeah, we'll be like older and wiser and shit. No, we won't.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
Oh, and happy birthday to Nuv.
Yes. Well, I'll see how happy it is. I'll assess based on the quality of party you throw me.
Okay, hater.
What are we doing here? Okay.
I don't know.
So do all those things and listen to all that stuff and then go away. Until next time, farewell, my friends.
Talk to you later.
I'm sleepy.